Welcome to the Face Music Podcast. What is up, everybody? My name is Matt, and I'm your host. On today's episode, we have the Week 18 Top 10s, show announcements, and my special guest this week, Long Island prog metal band, my friends Tethered. You ready? Let's do it. Welcome, everybody, to Week 18. How you guys been these last 2 weeks? I took last week off to go spend some much-needed time with my family down in Virginia. Weather was hot as balls, so we didn't really go anywhere or do anything, but it was relaxing, and it was good to see everybody. It's been almost 2 full years since we've all been in the same place at the same time, so it was nice to get together. Guys, we're officially in July. We are officially more than halfway done with this year. I don't know about you, but July's a packed month for me. Obviously, this comes out July 4th. Ozzy's last show ever is July 5th. Having the Moon Groove Records crew next Saturday, or next Sunday rather, for a special MGR Fest episode that we're going to be filming and putting out for you guys. That's going to feature pretty much all things Moon Groove Records. It'll have a MGR Fest related top 10. We got a lot of really cool shit that's going to be going on. But yeah, that's just to get you guys nice and hyped for MGR Fest, which is going to be the week later. I am going to see Bleed the Gods on July 18th, Prong on July 19th, both of those at Amityville Music Hall, and I just got my tickets to the Summer of Loud tour coming through Jones Beach on the 20th, so it's going to be a crazy, crazy week for me. Then, you know, of course, we have MGR Fest. We have a couple weeks later, everything's going to be fucking pumpkin spice everything, and then we stare into the fall and its dead, lifeless eyes. But hopefully I see you guys at a few of these shows coming up, and I better see you guys at MGR Fest. As I've said before, I have some really cool shit lined up. I have a lot of special guests, a lot of surprises. If all goes to plans, next week you guys are going to have a hell of a guest. So I'm pretty excited about that. I can't wait to tell you all about it. I'm not going to say anything, knock on wood, just in case, you know, shit happens. But make sure you keep your eyes and ears open on my socials and every week right here on the podcast. If you ever want to come on the show, hit me up. My late summer schedule is looking mostly free right now, but it is starting to fill up. So let's talk metal. Let's promote your band. Come hang out. Either shoot me a message on Instagram or email me at theftmpod@gmail.com. For my first timers, there's a whole bunch of new people following me on the page this week, so I hope every single one of you is listening. And welcome to the Face Music family, my friends. Very happy to have you here. When you're listening, it's our time to just hang out and forget about the insanity of life, forget about all the negativity and all the bullshit. This is a politics-free, worry-free, stress-free podcast. I'm here to talk with you about all things music and bring you some fun and entertaining discussions from artists you know and love to artists that you may not know yet. But there's too much fucked up shit happening in the world, so this is our escape from that for just a little while every week. For all my returning listeners, for my OGs, welcome back, my friends, and thank you for listening week after week, and thank you for joining me yet again on another episode of the Face Music Podcast. You guys know what's up by now. You know what I'm all about. Much love to you guys. I'm very thankful and I'm very lucky to have your support. Whether this is your first episode or your 18th, I am humbly and kindly asking for your support. There's a few very fast and very, very free ways to do this. Number one, follow the podcast on Instagram, Spotify, and YouTube. Number 2, interact with posts, even if it says something as little as liking it or voting on a poll, which there was another one this week, and I appreciate everybody who took a part of that. Number 3, share something. If you listen to the show, there's pretty good odds that someone else that you know is also going to enjoy it. So tell them what's up. I appreciate all the love. I appreciate all the support. I will never take that for granted. You guys are the best. I started this podcast 18 weeks ago now. It's new-ish, but it's a product of a major life change, losing my job. I've talked about it a little bit here and there on the show, and yes, it is still very upsetting all these months later. It was a very traumatic thing for me, truthfully. It wasn't just a job. It was something that I gave my heart and my soul to for a very long time, and it set back a lot of the positive changes that were in motion for my wife and I this year. To keep it 100% honest with you, I was extremely depressed. My anxiety was through the roof. I had no idea how to make the next move. I found a lot of solace in starting this podcast. It helped me talk it out, to let go of what was keeping me down in life, and it allowed me to grow and discover a bit more about myself. Very much like seeking therapy. A therapist will listen, ask questions, and help you see things from new perspectives. They can give you advice and techniques to make positive changes in your life. BetterHelp is the sponsor of this video, and they're on a mission to make starting therapy easier. You just fill out a questionnaire, and you'll match with a therapist in as little as a couple of days. Easily switch therapists at any time and no extra cost if it's not the right fit for you. With over 7,000 reviews and a 4.3 rating on Trustpilot, BetterHelp is a platform that you can trust. Click the link in the description or go to betterhelp.com/facethemusic and get 10% off your first month of therapy. This week's Top 10 is all about summer vibes. I asked for your help making this week's list, and you did not disappoint. So a big thank you to everybody who voted, who commented, who sent me a message on what you think truly captures some immaculate summertime vibes. This week, we're going to hear from the Deftones, from Blink-182, Off Guard, Linkin Park, Sum 41, Electric Callboy, Ozzy Osbourne, Hoobastank, What's the Plan, and Hope Speak. As always, you'll hear all the clips from the top 10 on Spotify episodes, but unfortunately, YouTube snitches if you want to upload music. So if you are watching this on YouTube, I'm sorry, but the clips won't be featured. But that's not to worry, you can still listen to the full songs on the Face the Music Top 10s playlist over on Spotify. The code will be at the end of the top 10, and it's also in the link that's on all of my socials. Top 10 of Week 18, let's get into it, guys. Number 10, out of Calgary, Alberta, Canada, we have punk trio What's the Plan? The band started back in 2020 by brothers Aiden Duke on guitar and vocals, Adam Duke on bass and vocals, and Hunter Mack on drums. The band began around the same time the pandemic was seeing live music make its return, and they took the opportunity to capitalize on the resurgence. They began playing all over Alberta, and even began hosting their own shows with the goal of bringing their local scene in Calgary closer together, which led to the creation of their annual event, Whatfest. The band is currently planning a tour, and they will soon be entering the studio to record their upcoming EP, Letters from the Alphabet Band. Check these guys out. The music is straight old school 2000s skate park vibes. They may only have 2 songs out right now, but go follow them, and hopefully we can get them over to the States when they release a new EP. At number 10 this week, we have What's the Plan with Paranoid. At number 9, out of Sacramento, California, new metal band The Deftones. This one was probably the most popular suggestion I had received from all of you guys. The funny thing is, as much as I'm not a Deftones fan, there are still quite a few songs that I would have picked to put on this list myself. Minerva probably being my favorite Deftones song, Be Quiet and Drive, but I all think that we can agree that there's one song that stands out when it comes to the summer, One song that was on damn near everybody's mixtape and burned CD back in the day. The song that everybody skated to, rode their bikes to, jammed out to, and that is My Own Summer, Shove It, off of Around the Fur. The song's main riff is a legitimately perfect tension building riff that gets you ready to fuck some shit up when that chorus comes in, which is also just absolutely crushing, and it's a massive riff. As heavy as the song is, it's absolutely an essential song of the summer. At number 9 this week, this is Deftones' My Own Summer, Shove It. At number 8, we have Linkin Park. This is another suggestion by one of you guys, so thank you for that. A lot of these songs are songs that will bring you back to a place in time where the sun was hot, when music videos were still played on TV, and the only time you ever really went inside during the day was to see the newest videos play. This one brings me back to 2003. I had tickets for my first concert ever. It was Metallica, Limp Bizkit, Linkin Park, Mudvayne, and Deftones, also known as DFP Seventarium at MetLife Stadium. Back then it was Giant Stadium. Meteora was a brand new album. Somewhere I Belong was about done with a single rotation, and there was a new video that was going to be dropping. High energy, heavy, rapping. It was everything that Linkin Park is. The song is Faint. I remember the first time seeing the video, seeing the silhouette of Chester kneeling down in the middle of thousands of people screaming the bridge to the song and thinking, holy shit, that's intense. Well, cut to July 8th, 2003, I'm standing on the floor in the middle of MetLife Stadium with two of my best friends at the time, swallowed up in the pit watching that moment from that video live. One of the best memories that I have. It's so surreal, and I have never been in a better pit in my entire life all these years later. Fun fact about this tour specifically, the Linkin Park Live in Texas DVD was filmed at the Texas stop on the same tour. At number 8 this week, my friends, as suggested by you, this is Linkin Park Faint off of Live in Texas. Number 7, out of Long Island, New York, we have Hope Speak. This is a band that will be on MGR Fest this year, along with our number 5 song of the week, which we'll get to in just a minute. Hope Speak is Northeast Emo, founded in 2021. If Hope Speak came out 10 years ago, they would have easily been a Warped Tour band. They have the energy, the sound, the riffs. Hope Speak is a band that is easily they have what it takes to get big, and all that takes is listeners and support. These dudes have my ears. They have my support. They should have yours too. Please check these guys out. If you're going to MGR Fest, please make them a band that you have to see live. I will absolutely be at the stage for them. At number 7 this week, this is Hope Speak with Breathe Again. Number 6, we have the band Hoobastank. This band was everywhere back in 2001. There was no avoiding them. They were synonymous with extreme sports and the X Games. They were in video games. They were on MTV. They were on Warped Tour, on Bamboozled, Taste of Chaos. They were everywhere. Somewhere down the line, though, and I never quite understood why, they were the band that everybody loved to hate. They passed that torch on to Nickelback, which I also never understood that hatred either, but whatever. Hoobastank fucking rocked. They were another one of those bands that made it onto every CD, every mixtape. Just they were a part of a lot of summer soundtracks. Still a staple in all of mine. At number 6 this week, we have Hoobastank with Crawling in the Dark. Coming in at number 5 this week, we have one of Long Island's finest pop punk bands, the band Off Guard. I've known these dudes for a few years now, and they're fantastic people. They are fantastic musicians, and they are a must-see band. So whether you're coming to MGR Fest or you're just going to see them play a show locally, Off Guard truly capture the best elements of pop punk music, making it just as fun to listen to as it is to experience live. Just as I said about Hope Speak, if this band was around just a little earlier, they would have been on Warped, no questions asked. Off Guard is constantly writing, constantly playing shows. They just released their most recent EP, Complex Machines, back in December, and it's some of the band's finest work yet. Be sure to catch them at MGR Fest on July 26. Big shout out to Tyler and the boys. At number 5, this is Off Guard with Animated Future. Number 4 this week. We pay homage to a true legend. Yes, this top 10 is about summer, and yeah, it may seem a little bit weird to some of you for having an Ozzy Osbourne song on this list. Well, I don't know about you guys, but Ozfest was the biggest touring metal festival of all time at one point. Ozzy Osbourne and Ozfest was synonymous with summer. It was Warped and Ozfest every summer. Personally, I only got to go to one Ozfest in 2007, and if you know the story, you know I didn't get to see Ozzy then. But I did get to see Wayne Static. I got to see Ozzy in 2018 when he played the beach, thankfully. I'm very happy about that. I at least got to see the man live. But the point of including Ozzy this week has a few layers. One, Ozfest. We covered that. Number 2, the song I picked is, to me, one of Ozzy's heaviest. And 3, July 5th, 2025, so when this comes out, it's Friday, tomorrow, that'll be Ozzy Osbourne's final concert in his lifetime. Love him or hate him, respect you must. Ozzy has been metal royalty since 1968, and he always will be. In his life, he's played with every top tier musician you could ever want to play with. Tony Iommi, Bill Ward, Geezer Butler. He's had Rudy Sarzo. He's had Randy Rhoads. He's had Jake E. Lee, Tommy Aldridge, Carmine Appice, Steve Vai, Dean Castanova, Rick Wakeman, Rob Trujillo, Zach Wilde, Mike Borden, Gus G, and the list just goes on and on. Ozzy has had a hell of a career. So many stories about him that will live forever, like snorting a line of ants, pissing on the Alamo, biting a head off a bat. The man is metal. I know that this is the end of his touring and performing life, but what an amazing journey and life that he's lived. So with that being said, number 4 this week, horns up everybody. The king of heavy metal, Ozzy fucking Osbourne. This is off of the 2001 album Down to Earth. This is the first single, Gets Me Through. My friends, welcome to the top 3 songs of the week. Just a quick recap of our top 10 so far. At number 10, we had What's the Plan with Paranoid. Number 9, we had the Deftones with My Own Summer, Shove It. Number 8, we had Linkin Park, Faint. Number 7, we had Hopespeak with Breathe Again. Number 6, we had Hoobastank, Crawling in the Dark. Number 5, we had Off Guard with Animated Future. And at number 4, we just heard from Ozzy Osbourne with Gets Me Through. Your number 3 song of week 18, we have one of the most iconic songs out of the 90s pop punk scene. A riff that so many beginner guitarists learn first. A song about growing up. A song about trying to face some uncomfortable shit head on and trying to deal with it. More specifically, running into an ex while they're with their new person and trying to play it off like you're not completely bugged out by it. Blink-182 are the perfect band for relatability when you're an awkward teen learning how to find your way through your own life. From first dates to being reminded to act your age to falling for the hot rocker girl at the show that you were at, Blink pretty much covered all the bases when it came to being a young dude. This song is so much fun to listen to. It's one of the band's biggest hits. It's got summer vibes, and it's our number 3 song of the week. Off of Dude Ranch, this is Blink-182 with Damn It. Number 2, we're bringing it back to Warped. We're bringing it back to the skate park. Hell, we're even bringing it back to Canada. Sum 41 is a band that so many of us grew up listening to and loving, and a band that showed us that it doesn't matter if you're a guy or a girl, if you look normal or if you look a little different, if you're a punk or a metalhead. This song also taught us that our time is precious and we should be doing exactly what we want with it, not wasting our time on becoming some pretty reflection of society. We're all the same, we come from the same places, we all share these things. Sum 41 recently retired from touring, and God bless them, dude. They survived. They made it out the other side, and I'm not even really sure how. They did it all. From being the voice of a generation with All Killer No Filler, to paying tribute to Metallica on MTV Icon, to partying their asses off, to the unfortunate toll that it took on the band members. Sum 41 had an incredible career and such an incredible resurgence. I will always love this band. I'll always love this album. I will always love this song. There is no summer song playlist to me that doesn't include this. At number 2, this is Sum 41 off of All Killer No Filler. This is Fat Lip. And your number 1 song for week 18. My good friend Dylan suggested this one, and there's no better place for it than our number 1 spot. Electric Callboy is a band that I've featured and I've talked about on this podcast quite a few times. I love them. They are quite literally the most fun live band that I've ever seen. Their music is all about positivity and having fun. You can't frown when you're listening to them. A few years ago, the band released Techno, and that changed the entire course of the band's career. They were a band that was popular, they were known, but that album put them on an entirely different level. The band's original singer Sushi left in 2020 and was replaced by Nico Salak. The band dropped the EP MMXX and released the first song with Nico on vocals entitled Hypa Hypa, and that launched rave metal. Soon after, the band released Techno and dropped quite possibly the greatest summer anthem of all time. I don't think there's a competitor to be had with this one, truthfully. The song came attached to one of the best music videos of all time. Just a bunch of dudes with bowl haircuts, upside down glasses, and white jumpsuits, tiny finger glove hands bobbing their heads, and everyone that walks by is also just bobbing their heads the same way. Shows how infectious something as simple as a head bob really is. And then the party at the end of the video is just pure chaos. It looks like the greatest night ever, to be honest with you. The song celebrates life, making memories, and never forgetting how much fun we can have. Rumor has it that the band will be back in the States next year, and trust me when I say this, you need to be there. The band will be releasing new music this fall, but while we're still in summer mode, let's do this shit up. At the number one song for the week, this is Electric Callboy, We Got the Moves. You can check out the full songs on the Face Music Top 10s playlist on Spotify by either searching or scanning the code that is on your screen now. Are you interested in being a guest on the show? Hit me up. I'm always looking for bands, for musicians, friends, other podcast hosts, promoters, or just people who live for rock and metal that want to come on and talk a bunch of shit with me. So let's set it up. Don't be shy. It's always a good time. I will say, as of today, I'm booked up through about mid-August. So if you've got something that you want to come on and talk about, don't wait. And if it's important, if you need to get on sooner, if you're promoting something, let me know and I'll see if I can move some stuff around for you to make it work. My friends in bands, do you have a show coming up, or a new single, an album, or an EP dropping? Anything that you want to promote or need me to promote for you? Please let me know. I want to do my part in making sure that your music gets heard and your band gets seen. But if you don't tell me, I'm going to have a hard time finding out about it. So please reach out. Either email me at theftmpod@gmail.com or just shoot me a message on Instagram. Alright guys, we got some quick show announcements. July 18th, Amityville Music Hall, we have my friends in Bleed the Gods. This is their debut show, so get your asses out there and show them some support. I'm going to be there too, so come hang. July 19th, also Amityville Music Hall, we have the Mighty Prong. This is going to be their only home show in 2025. The band is going to be hitting the road in Europe for the summer months before wrapping things up in Cali for Aftershock, so make sure that you get your tickets and you get there. I'm also going to be chilling at this one too. I got to show support to my dude Tyler. Speaking of Tyler, his other band Electrocutioner just dropped a fucking rager, so go check that out. Or you can wait till next Friday because it will 100% be on next week's Top 10. July 20th, we have the Summer of Loud tour coming through Jones Beach. This one is going to be a blast, dude. I just got my tickets the other day. We have Killswitch Engage, I Prevail, Beartooth, Parkway Drive, Amity Affliction, Devil Wears Prada, and Alpha Wolf. The show starts at 3, but let's see if we can throw together a little bit of a tailgate. Stay tuned for any details on that. Follow me on socials. If anything comes up, I'll post it there. July 26th, Moongroove Records hosts MGR Fest 2025. This event will take place at Ubergeek Brewing in Riverhead, New York. The whole thing kicks off at noon and goes late into the night. This event will feature local artists and touring acts. There's going to be plenty of vendors, activities, games, food trucks, and much more. $25 if you buy ahead of time, $30 at the door, so make sure you save yourself some cash and buy early. Your vendors for MGR Fest 2025 are Rift Haven Audio Recording Studio, Floating Forest Pedals, Safe Haven Music, Moncherie Sugary, Burnworks Unlimited, Gallagher Baked Goods, Katie Crafts, the Maui Chop House Food Truck, the El Amor del Caribe Caribbean Love Food Truck, and yours truly, the Face the Music Podcast. I'll have a table and tent set up with some cool stuff for sale, including a one-time only limited supply MGR Fest hot sauce. I'll have shirts, I'll have some other cool stuff going on too. Gonna be doing a raffle or two. I'm gonna have a mobile setup for full coverage of the festival, so come on by and say what's up. Maybe cut a promo for the show, but make sure you get there bright and early. A music festival would be nothing without your bands performing. So, your bands for MGR Fest 2025 are Farsight, Ringside Tonic, Pathmaker, Cheem from New England, Path We Choose, Soul Searcher, Resist the Temptation, With Sales Ahead from New Jersey, Hope Speak, Dead Within Days, Pulses from Virginia, Off Guard, Oceanside, I Dreamt the Sea, and Craving Strange. Also featuring special acoustic sets by Bojack from the band Ronin, Chris Umland, and Ghost City Limits, which is my good friend and former guest of the show, Rob Moonfesta. Go give all of your vendors a like and the bands a listen. Make sure you buy your tickets early. $25 online or 30-day of show. Bring some extra cash for merch, food, raffles, and also save some time at the door. Since this event starts at noon, you want to make sure that you're there and inside early for when that first note kicks off. Today's guests are top 10 alums. They are incredible musicians and some of the nicest gentlemen out there. I go back with Jimmy a pretty long way now, and I'm so excited to have these dudes on the show this week. I hope you enjoy. This is one of Long Island's best prog metal bands. This is Tethered.
All right, what's up, you guys? Welcome to the Face Music Podcast. I'm sitting here with Tethered. We have, well, why don't you guys go around, introduce yourselves?
Is that one right there?
That one right there, yes.
I'm Jimmy. I'm the guitarist.
I am Greg, the bassist.
I'm Zach, the drummer.
Steve, guitarist number 2.
Jake, the vocalist. Number 2.
1, 2, right? Or 1, 2, whatever you prefer.
It's more like 1 and like 1.1.
Number 2.
1.1.
Like,
You share the lead guitar duties and all that kind of stuff?
It's the lead. It's just
Yeah.
you write a cool riff. Whoever comes up and usually plays it as it.
it becomes your problem.
He wrote this.
Yeah.
Damn.
If there's leads, I'm doing ones that sound like David Gilmour, and then he's doing ones where he's like going all over the place. And I can't do
We
that.
have our own styles, yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome, though. You got to blend it and make it work.
Yeah.
You guys do very well, by the way.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Appreciate it.
I was telling Jimmy, I was listening to the record last week, and I just caught myself in a loop on it. Like, I listened to it probably 3 times solid.
Oh my God.
Nice.
Before I was like, I have to, this is holding up all my progress.
It's a good problem for us.
I sent everybody that message. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Right in the Discord. It's great.
Yeah, it's great.
Big morale booster.
I feel like how I felt about that album is how I felt about listening to Liquid Tension 1 the first time.
Oh,
It
yeah.
just took me on a ride like the whole way through, and before I knew it, I was just very, very lost in the album. So
Yeah. Wow.
that's
That's really nice to hear.
A
Thank
good
you.
problem for you guys.
Yeah.
No, we were going.
Yeah, exactly. That was the point.
We spent a lot of time just like making it kind of progress that way.
Yeah.
And it just worked out so well.
Yeah, it really did.
It's one of those albums that if you took the vocals out of it entirely, no offense, dude, but like if you took the vocals out, it would still be a phenomenal album because the music itself tells that story. But adding the vocals in, it's just another layer to it. So
Yeah.
kudos, guys. That was a fantastic album.
Thank you.
It's a long process. I wrote that over
He really
10
he
years.
came
A literal 10 years.
yeah.
Yeah,
Eight
he
to
had
10.
songs in there that were from like 2016.
Yeah. The first
And
the,
they kind of matured as we came.
the last 2 songs are actually the oldest 2 songs on that. And so
Yeah.
like
Oh,
we
yeah,
started with
really
the
first.
big epic and then we're basically almost worked backwards to a degree.
Mhm.
Yeah, you know, that-
Yeah, we started Cart Dog 1 in 2016-ish.
The walk
give or
was
take.
like the third one after.
Yeah.
And then, oh my God, did we write this album in reverse?
Yeah.
Yeah, we did. We really did.
So here I am thinking that you guys are a newer band. You've been doing this for a long time, though.
Yeah. So initially, a good majority of us were in a previous band called Skepsis. So mainly the 3 of us.
Mhm.
Zach
Zach
came
for a little
on.
bit.
Zach came on at the back end of like the end of what was Skepsis, and during that time, some of the stuff was originally going to be Skepsis material, and then just over time we kind of grew out of that and wanted to move into something different, and it just kind of worked out in this way where everybody wanted to do it. For a period, it was the 4 of us briefly where we kind of were just like, well, what do we do
Where
now?
do we
Yeah.
go?
And fortunately enough, Jake was able to come along and fill it out and fill out the band
Seriously.
like
He stepped up and
impressively.
just
Yeah.
read
Yeah.
all these crazy lyrics, like a whole
He
concept
did it in
album
like a month and a
almost.
half, 2 months.
Yeah.
It was like crazy.
Yeah.
It was
He did what we did in 10 years. In 3 months. And it was like, and it was amazing.
Yeah.
The whole process was dope.
Made it possible.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
What's funny is that you're synonymous with Skepsis for me. That's how I met you. That's how I know.
Yeah.
I did not know the rest of you guys were all a part of the same group.
Yeah.
Yeah.
really cool.
Yeah.
So, sorry to cut you off. I was originally the merch guy for Skepsis.
Yeah.
That is
Me
true.
and my buddy Dylan. And it progressed to me joining another band called More Myself to Kill.
I know Monty Cat.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
Shout out.
been-
Yeah, big shout out.
they're my 10-year band.
Yeah.
And then April of last year, Zach hit me up and he's like, "Hey, so we're trying to finish this album.
Yeah.
Would you be interested?" And I was like, "I don't know. It's a lot of commitment."
Are you still in Monty Cat?
Yep.
Dude, so then I have to congratulate you twice because the shit that you guys dropped was fucking amazing too.
Thanks.
Like,
Yeah.
They were
I've been talking to Joe a lot, and he's like, "Yo, check this out." And I finally did. I'm like, "Damn, dude, it's crazy."
Awesome.
So I can't wait to hear more of that too.
Yeah.
Since Joe Veloci came up, let's go Mets.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Now you can't. I'll pull up the Facebook video of him freaking out. I've got it on my phone.
I think we've all seen that.
Mike Boustakis.
They
Yeah.
have no one here has context.
No,
That's fine.
No, this is
one of you has context.
Deep dive.
One of you has
One
it.
of them has
One of you
context.
knows.
So that's cool, man.
Yeah.
Wow, we got a lot of different shit going on here. That's cool.
Yeah. We stay busy.
Yeah.
Try.
I don't remember. I think it was the Metal Church show where I saw Skepsis.
Oh my god.
Oh, wow.
Church show.
That's-
So I came down to hang out. My buddy Mike Festa's band was playing.
Which band was that?
Trying to think of the name of it.
Is it
Magic Beast.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
They're cool. I love Magus Beast.
Timing.
Oh my god.
We-
Bring
Yeah.
me back to high school.
Yeah.
We played with them at Revolution.
Yeah.
I'm close to it.
Yeah, that was the metal church when I was at Revo as well.
Yeah.
That show was like
That's crazy.
God
That's beyond me. Like that's before I even knew these
that
guys.
show was a goddamn nightmare.
Oh, was it really?
Oh my god. I think we had to sell like 50 tickets or something like that
That's
at like
epic.
$20 a pop, and it was like trying to convince people to do that. It's
They're
like
18.
yeah,
Yeah.
18 trim. Yeah, this band from the 80s that you've never heard of before. Can you give me $20 to see them?
Yeah.
We've been really fortunate with that with this band where it kind of seems like a lot of that stuff has kind of just died. Like there's not really
No pre-sales.
we
Really.
haven't had any pre-sales. We've actually been fortunate enough to like run our own stuff
Mhm.
recently, and it's been really cool to just handle it on ourselves, kind of make our price points, be transparent to everybody, be like, this is how much the show costs, this is how much things are, this is how much we're charging, this is how much you're getting, and just be like so straight up compared to like when we were originally starting out here, which
Yeah.
I was talking with Dylan from Resistance Temptation, and I was like, I didn't realize how like old school, like I was considered old school because I was like, I've been in band since 2014, and he's like, oh yeah, we've been doing Resistance since 2019, and I'm like, huh? What do you mean? So it's just cool to like see that like that there's like this kind of change of form, that like it's like just so much easier for people to just do things and try things out without having to put so much bank in.
So I have to ask, how old are you?
31.
All right. I just
What's
turned
wrong with being 31?
It's the 3 in the front that's really bothering me.
I just turned 37 in March.
Ah.
So don't talk about old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen the whole scene go from like no pre-sale to ridiculous pre-sale. And now we're back to a point where there really is nothing left.
It was a pushback, I think. It was crazy how bad it
There's
got.
also no venues.
There's no venue.
Yeah.
That's everything
We're
else.
playing bars and AMH.
We've been playing VFW.
VFW. Yeah.
Just doing everything
The
ourselves.
VSW halls are getting nasty though. The
What do you mean?
crazy crowds and shit.
Yeah.
All our shows we
Like
had
nasty in a good way. No?
Oh,
Yeah.
not nasty. It's like a
all of our shows,
not like
really good crowds. All the bands got
Yeah.
paid, and it was completely successful.
no security.
Shocking how many people.
We almost hit capacity, and
Yeah.
The VFW
really cool.
hall is such a nice spot to have like in our pocket.
Yeah.
went there with the intention of like not like doing what we did for our album release show.
Yeah.
And then it went off and it was crazy. We were like, we could do this again. And then they loved us and they're like, come do it again. And
Yeah,
we're like,
they're great people that work there. And we had a really good
They're
conversation
really
with them.
good
They're so
people.
nice.
Yeah.
like,
Honestly,
shout out Massapequa VFW
Yeah.
Hall.
Yeah,
I went
really
to
cool
one show
spot.
there. I went to go see Off Guard there a few years ago, and they packed the place out. I was
Yeah.
like, damn, this is cool.
Mhm.
I didn't know that VFW halls were doing shows again, because for a long time, like the one in Lindy, it was the Moose Lodge in Lindy.
Yeah.
Talk Highway.
Mhm.
They were hosting like big time bands, but shit got so rowdy they shut it down.
Yeah, it was
It's
the
a
same
lot
thing
of-
with the same thing with what was it, Woodshop, where Woodshop was doing the same thing, and then somebody kicked a hole in the wall or something,
Yeah.
and I was like, all right, we're done.
Yeah, it's
You
a
know, that's
Yeah.
happening with that unfortunately happened with Sweet Tea 208 too now.
Yeah.
Where it's like that's the same
Yeah.
shit that's happening. It's just like
I'm trying to get the Sayville one on the map because I know a guy who like frequents in there, like he's part of their like motorcycle thing.
Yeah.
And he went to our VFW hall show and he's like, yeah, dude, this would be great there. Like people show up, and he's like the VFW hall work like gets their side of it and they make what they gotta make, and it's like you guys have a great show. I'm like, and it's super close to home.
I feel like it's more common maybe like down south or middle of the country or like back in the day. Like there were so many bands that I found from just like random clips online where they're playing in like the basement of a church or VFW, and it's like like when COVID was kind of like deep in, I was like, and all these places are shutting down. I'm like, why aren't people thinking about doing that when everything kind of opens back up?
Right.
And now it's actually happening, which is really exciting.
Yeah, everyone's so focused on like build the next venue, build everything up,
Right.
and it's like it's not gonna build out the way it was though.
No,
We took
Just make
too
do
much
what
of
you
a hit.
can.
yeah.
I find it fun at those VFW halls.
This is the most fun I've ever had at
Low
shows.
pressure.
Casual, low pressure.
Make it how you want it,
Yeah.
and like shout out Dara for letting us use their lights.
Oh my
Oh,
god!
yeah,
On the
that's
first show he did.
That was
Yeah.
That was sick.
Dark.
Those
It's
lights were
is
cool.
100% like you get what you give,
Yeah.
and like
Mhm.
the more that you put into production for a show like that, like is going to be, because it goes from just a dim white room to
Yeah.
like ambience. Like,
It's legitimately a blank canvas,
Yeah.
which is a good thing, but also could just depending on what you put in it.
Much creativity. again,
Exactly.
you know?
Yeah.
I always appreciated bands that could do that. They could like honestly take a room and just transform it and make it their own.
Yeah.
When you're on the stage, like you're on the stage, you want people to pay attention to you.
Mhm.
And your music is going to speak for itself naturally, but you
Yeah.
need to do something else
It's a
that's going to
show.
make it a show.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like bands started, understanding the importance of like uniformity in some degree.
Right.
Like everyone's wearing at least a black shirt.
Yeah.
Or, I mean,
Feels like it belonged there.
Yeah.
but like a look goes a long way with bands. You don't
Yeah.
always have to be the guys in like makeup and doing the crazy shit like Uchikatsu. I need to see them live. I heard
Oh,
they're
yeah.
phenomenal.
It's a lot of fun.
It's
It's a lot of
a
fun.
wild show.
It's the one we played with them where they headlined was like they just like all the stops gone.
Yeah.
They had like two guys in clown suits. They had like three clown girls, like volleyballs, and like two animatronic zombies.
Oh my
It was
God.
fantastic.
Yeah.
That sounds
It's
nuts.
so much fun.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
You're just like,
Definitely interesting.
Yeah.
They had the whole presentation thing.
yeah.
You know?
I did a show in New Hampshire with a band called The Bottomobile. I don't know if they're still doing their thing, but they completely blew my standards away on what a band could actually do on a small scale. The place we played was a pizzeria.
Oh,
That's awesome.
A pizza. I
I'd
would love
love
Yeah.
that. That'd be fun.
So half of it was a pizza place, and like it had regular customers going in and out the entire night. Then the other half was a concert hall. So they had it's kind of like an AMH setup, old school AMH setup.
yeah.
But on the stage, they had a big backdrop. So the bands can set up here, but that you can project your logo or whatever you want on the backdrop.
Mhm.
They played horror movies.
Oh, that's so cool.
That's awesome.
They played horror movie clips up here. They had a television set that was the front frame of the drummer's drum set. So instead of a bass drum, he had an E kit, but there was a TV screen there playing more fucked up clips.
Oh my
Like that's
god.
their whole presentation was.
That's so
horror theaters.
cool.
The thing is the lady crawling out of the baby.
Yeah,
That would be really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But their music, it was simple music, but it kicked ass, and the show was nuts.
Yeah.
And they played for also probably close to an hour and a
Oh.
half. So it went a little long for me. But yeah, dude, it was nuts. And like I hope they're still doing their things. They put on a clinic, and that inspired me.
That's
to
a
do
dope
more when I
concept.
got
That sounds
like that.
so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I can send you guys the link to it.
Yeah.
Their old stuff because
Yeah,
they always
that's
wrote about like
awesome.
creepy shit. So it was cool.
Sick.
Girl singer, awesome.
Who's
Yeah.
doing that now is or something similar is Rin. Rin's been doing
Rin,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, Rin's like a
Really
two-piece
cool.
two-piece like drum pad, guitar, band.
Mhm.
Really doing that out here. It's like they've got like one giant like TV screen projector thing in the front with like all these things that I think the drummer like makes himself, or
Damn.
I'm not exactly sure, but it's like it's crazy.
That's
It's the
cool as
same
shit.
kind of vibe. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's so
I gotta check
cool.
that out.
Oh
Yeah.
my god, yeah. They're always out here.
Yeah.
They're always
Really
out here.
nice guys too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
really cool.
Yeah, we just played with them. Mom TK.
Mount the Gage played them, yeah.
At AMH.
Mm.
And I was super blown away by like the multimedia aspect. I'm like, I've seen so many like two pieces
Yeah.
that are like, damn, I wish I had a vocalist. And like these guys like nailed the concept of like, hey, we're gonna just make what we want to make to be artists and not
Yeah.
like worry about what anybody else thinks.
Absolutely.
Get some fun shit out of it.
Yeah.
More freeform, I feel. You don't
Yeah.
have to stick to a straight, genre or
Yeah.
routine.
It's a cool thing when you can have a cool concept and pull it off and know that you just pulled it off.
Mhm. Yeah.
Because like, most of the time you go into a bar and you see two people on stage, you're like,
You're like, oh, what's going on?
this might be bad.
Kind of weird two pieces.
Yeah.
Somebody grab
You
the
gotta
beer.
that's like,
fill the
uh,
stage out
yeah,
with just
Trip
two
Villain.
people.
Trip Villain, you was a surprise too. Like
Yeah.
that, you know.
Trip Villain is another. They're like an industrial like kind of thing, and
Yeah.
it is
Guitar
a
set.
hell of a show.
Hmm.
Like it was. Me and Jimmy went out for a local thing at AMH, and
That was Moontooth show, right?
I believe
Yeah,
so.
it was the Moontooth show.
And like no idea who these guys were going in, and they just started going. And I like listening, and then I look at Jimmy. I'm like, whoa.
I didn't know at the time, but John Eller from Bengal Effie is like the other guy in that who's been doing that. And so I was like, getting to see John again is great because like Bengal Effie's been around as long as I've been listening to music out here. So yeah,
That's cool, man.
Yeah.
I love that when you go to a bar or just any show and like one of the bands just blows your absolute
Oh,
mind
yeah.
up.
mm-hmm.
Low expectations, and all of a sudden, someone's tripled them. Like,
Yeah.
holy shit.
I went to go see headliner. Path Beach was playing at AMH. So I
Yeah.
went to go for them. And damn it, it's gonna bug me because I can't remember who headlined that show. But
The recent date?
It was-
No, they headlined the recent date, right? Their release thing.
that was their release last
Oh,
week.
okay.
This was 2 months ago. give or
Oh,
take.
okay.
Weird band names for the two headliners, but Yosemite and Black played right after
Mhm.
Path, and I never heard of them before. I didn't know that the touring package had an extra band on it. So I'm sitting there, I'm like, all right, we'll see how this goes. I'm like right up front, and they start playing. I'm like, oh fuck, this is so good. I was like, oh my god, wait a minute, what's happening? It wasn't even just metal. They were funk, they were metal, they were dancing on the stage. The frontman has so much charisma, like it was nuts. It was one of the best live experiences I've ever seen in a small place.
That's
and this
dope.
band came out of nowhere.
Ah.
They just played Copenhagen over the weekend.
That's
They destroyed. I'm watching the video, like they have crazy circle pits, like a couple hundred people there for them. I was like, what the fuck is going on? I just
Yeah.
saw this band in a bar
Yep.
and they're just crushing it. So shout out for Yosemite and Black. Dude, they
You
are
gotta check that out too.
Yeah.
they're on their way,
Oh
man.
my god.
That's crazy. That you saw them at AMH, and then they're
Now they're
a festival like that, just killing it.
Oh, Crown Magnetar was one of the bands.
Okay.
I
never heard
the
of
last
that
one's
either.
gonna
Crown
mess me up.
Magnetar.
Yeah.
It's a
That's a
name.
crazy
Nothing
name.
Magnetar.
It does
It does.
It might have been Traders. Was that?
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
Michelle-
You're right. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been watching Traders since like Tyler Shelton did like vocal covers in his car in the middle of Alabama.
Oh, it was
and then out of nowhere,
so funny.
like everyone's like, "Yo, this guy can like do shit," and I'm like, "Yeah, man, where the hell you been?" and then they're insane blow up.
Traders was a little bit earlier than that, but I think like that stuff kind of helped. But like they used to be like second slot on like these like Revolution deathcore shows where you're like, I'm scared to go anywhere near
Them-
anyone here.
Them and like Brand of Sacrifice.
Yeah.
they were like the two that would like always rotate with me.
Mhm.
Wasn't Brand just here too?
Yeah, they were.
Yeah, they were.
I saw them years ago at Revo.
We sure did.
Blew me away. I was like, I was in the pit, and I'm just like, this is awesome. And then like after the show, I'm like, yo, that was crazy. And he's like, thanks.
Oh my god.
It's funny playing with the deathcore guys. Like they're just chill.
Yeah,
They get
Yeah.
off stage, they're a different person.
Mhm.
They get all that energy out.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
happened with Veil of Maya with their original singer. I saw them at I think it was the 2012 Summer Slaughter, the one where you almost get kicked out because you were sitting on the floor and you weren't allowed to.
Oh god.
The one with
Like,
Peachy Band.
I remember that.
Yeah, I remember you almost getting kicked out from Irving Plaza
I
because
was
you
so-
sat on the floor.
Hours and hours, and my legs were killing
Oh
me.
my
I'm
God.
like, I'm
But
just
I-
gonna sit on the floor for.
But I ran into the singer from Veil of Maya outside, and like these guys are like crazy, and like he is like high as fuck. And I go up to him like, dude, you guys are amazing. He looks at me, he's like, thank you, dude. Thank you so much, man. Dude, and I was like, okay, I wasn't expecting that.
Whoa,
I was like, you were just yelling at me for like 20 minutes.
Didn't expect the hugger.
Yeah.
The last show I ever played was with my old band Burn Your Bridges. We opened for Last 10 at Red.
Oh wow.
And yeah, crazy ass band, but like the singer was hitting us up for weed and shit outside. I don't smoke, but I was like, and my bassist does, so go that guy. And my bassist was like, I think he sat there. I was like, dude, you know what? You got that one on your
Oh
book.
my god.
They were crazy though. I ended up
Yeah.
leaving a little early with that show, but like,
Mm.
yeah, that was a week before COVID.
What a shame. R.I.P. Revo.
Yeah.
So many things.
I miss that venue so much.
So many shows that like
It's a good one.
so many shows that like because I was like right before the Crazy Donkey time.
Yeah.
I got into music like probably like weeks after the Donkey closed because I got invited to go to one Death Clock show there. Did not go because it was like I don't know. I'm like at the beginning of high school and I'm like, yeah, some random kid I'm friends with online wants to go see Death Clock with me. Is that okay, Mom? And it's like, and I'm like, I don't know either. I'm kind of scared, you know. But yeah, I think that's a cool thing. That was the cool thing with Revo. Is like so many shows that you look back now and you're like, why? How the fuck did I see that in that room?
Yep.
Like Dillinger in that room is like, what?
Oh god,
That was a wild experience.
Dillinger in that room was hilarious. It's just like took the contortionist multiple times. Animals multiple
saw them.
times.
Yeah, Animals
Protest the
Leader.
Hero.
Protest the
Time.
Hero. Oh my
Got
god.
some big names coming.
I was
in.
supposed to see Job for a Cowboy in between the Buried and Me there.
Oh my
And-
god.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that was the Parallax One tour.
Yeah.
It was
oh,
Jobs.
forever
I think
ago.
it was Jobs,
That is-
Cephalic Carnage, and
Oh my god.
Peachy Bam.
And
Oh
it
my
was
god.
like the day before the show, and I'm like telling my mom, like, hey, I was gonna go to this with like my boy. He's gonna drive and whatever. And she's like, I don't want you guys driving. And I'm just like, cool,
You're
mom.
gonna get killed.
Yeah, like, you know, I show her like between the Buried and Me, and she's like, oh, okay. And that's like Job for a Cowboy. And she's like, no. Meanwhile, like at the time, huge influence for me.
Yeah. I didn't like Job at first. When I saw Job on one of the Summer Slaughters, they like I was like so boomer about it. I was like, these guys are like jock metal. This is stupid. I hate this. And then I grew up.
The fact that for me as a drummer, that their drummer was 17 at the time when they
What?
wrote those two albums.
Was he
Oh my
really?
God.
Insane. It's like, how do you like? I was in high school, and like this guy is 3 years older than me, and he's
Mhm.
already like an insane drummer. I'm like, how do I do that?
Yeah.
Does it just do I just wake up one day and all of a sudden it's just like you're good, or is it like, you know, how much time and effort did this guy put into his craft, and it
Probably a lot.
blew me away.
A real lot.
It's nuts, dude. Job, I saw a couple times, but like first time I was kind of in the same boat as you. I'm like, yeah, all right,
Yeah,
whatever.
it's just-
I don't need to see them. But also at the same time, I was like, yeah, I don't need to see Cannibal Corpse. I don't need to see Bodum again. I don't need like all these bands that I'm like, you know, I still saw them, so that still counts. I'll
Yeah.
still
Oh
check them.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But the next time that I saw Job for the Cowboy, like I was right against the gate.
Yeah,
Like,
you're right
It
there.
was nuts. I mean, half because like Machine Head was coming on after them. Was that like Mayhem 2012 or some shit?
Mhm.
Possibly.
Yep.
Was that what?
I was supposed to go too, and I didn't get to go.
I never went to.
Thanks, Mom and Dad.
I never went to any Mayhems,
Dude,
Warped
they were
Tours,
they were the
anything.
best.
Went to
Few
Summer
Warped
Slaughter
Tours.
twice. I think once with you,
Yeah.
and a lot of Warped Tours.
Yeah, you all did work. I've never done a
Never
Warped
done.
Tours.
My friends were into punk at the time.
Got so
I
many
have been-
sunburns.
Yeah.
One Warp Tour,
What?
2013, and I literally went to see Black Dahlia Murder. Nobody else.
I went to 2013 Warped Tour. Did we? I met up with Connor at some point, but I don't remember meeting up with you.
No,
Oh.
I wasn't. I was there with
I was there like the whole.
the scene kids.
This is this is like the Kmart experience. From like at one point we were all in the same place, didn't know each other, and now we're all friends somehow.
We knew each other.
It's
then.
literally like we call it.
I was
definitely weren't
there.
that close.
We
Yeah.
call it like the Kmart paradox because like most of us work like me, him, a bunch of other people. Our old drummer Jalupo, who's in Lucid Dreams now. We all worked at Kmart. We
Really?
all knew each other from Kmart. It's crazy.
And then my family frequented that very Kmart.
Yeah.
Wait, which Kmart was it?
The one on Sunrise, over in
Bohemia.
Bohemia.
I didn't.
It's so it's the same place where the Harbor Freight and the Floor Decor, I think is what it's called.
It's
Yeah.
300 miles away from anywhere any of us are located.
In Wyoming.
Yeah.
I only knew the one in West Babylon.
Okay.
I was sad when that store closed.
What's a Kmart? I just remember it existed.
It wasn't sad.
I went to the Bohemia one on the last day it was open. I got 4 boxes of candy canes for $1. It was great.
Whoa.
That lasted me 2 months. I love
Virgin.
I love candy canes. I love candy canes. I do. I
On
like
a
candy.
tangent.
All right,
Yeah.
that's it. Good talk, guys.
We'll go home now.
How did we get here? Some job for accounting.
The rest the rest of the podcast is everybody leaves the room and I just eat a whole box of candy canes. That's it.
That's the rest of the
That's
podcast.
that's the whole podcast.
All right.
Ratings through the roof. You know.
They're gonna
What do you
see
mean?
Are you chewing on them or are you sucking on them?
a little bit of A, a little bit of B.
He's got enough candy canes to do both.
That's
Yeah, that's for Patreon.
Oh my Patreon.
I don't know if we can hear either. It's
This
just,
guy won't shut the fuck up about candy canes. I don't fucking get it.
I had Resistor on a while ago.
Love them.
I was talking about how they did Beyblade.
Mm-hmm.
And I was trying to like set it up that they would face off against Dead Within Days, who
Oh,
also
I remember
there's
this.
Beyblade. Dead Within Days eventually responded to that when they came on the show, so I have to mix that up and put it out. But Resistor was joking around saying that that's their premium quality content. You can find that on ChatterBait.
I wanna work with those guys.
That's so cool.
They got it going on.
Their content's
Their
great.
content's
The
great
content's
and
on, the music's
Music
great.
great.
They actually also played the Trader Show. That was that.
Yeah, they did. Yeah,
They were nuts, dude.
they're so
nicest
much
guys.
fun. Yeah,
Nicest guys in the entire world, but like, man, they put on a hell of a show.
Yeah, dude.
I gotta see this.
the nice ones are angry.
Yeah. It's one of my favorite local bands, if you can consider them local.
Yeah.
They're
I can't even
always
really call them local.
they're
They're top.
everywhere.
Yeah,
And they're always like just moving. It's like, oh yeah, we're gonna be in this
we're
corner.
here. We're here. We're here.
And then we're
yeah.
gonna go over here for a little while. Then we'll come back to New York for a little bit.
Yeah, they're on tour with Hunt the Dinosaur right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're doing the Gathering. Like,
Yeah, the jump. The
That was crazy.
That was a hell of a drop.
That made all the sense in the world. I was happy for them, but part of me was like, that doesn't surprise me at all. Like that's just great. That's fantastic.
and they said they're going to Puerto Rico too.
Oh,
Puerto
Doing a
Rico.
show in Puerto Rico.
Wow.
Oh my
That's
God.
sick.
Random,
That's
but I-
awesome.
That'd be a fun show.
Yeah.
Let's go there.
Yeah, those guys. There's so many bands right now that like I really can't rightfully call them local anymore.
Yeah.
Path, same thing. I can't call Path We Choose a local.
Yeah, they got a
They
good
are
stride going too. Yeah.
But they have for years though.
Oh, yeah.
They've been grinding shit.
Yeah.
I'm so happy for those guys, man. Every time they make a move, I'm like, that's just well earned at this point.
Yeah.
The hustle that they put in. And I mean, like, dude, I see it for you guys too, honestly.
Thank you.
Like,
Yeah.
this,
We were just
this-
talking about that today a little bit. Just like, how this stuff, like, how does this stuff even go? And it's just like these different strategies. And it's like, like during COVID, I did YouTube for a long time. I'm
Yeah.
still doing YouTube here and there, but it's like the real strategy from that winds up being like consistency. And then you just hope it lucks out. And it's
Mhm.
like, I think with that, what we've got going on now, it's like, we're doing so many good things and we're trying our best to be as consistent as possible. So it's like, it's just kind of just wait and see. And if we're enjoying ourselves, then
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe
That's
the
it.
algorithm will decide.
Yeah.
That's pretty neat.
The benevolent-
That's a clip.
The benevolent binary code will
Yeah,
give us money.
more or less.
We'll join the gods of TikTok.
Yeah.
We'll be the next Lorna Shore.
Yeah.
The Sleep Token. I read an article about them that like how they blew up over a 3-year period because of social media.
Is that Sleep Token or
Both
Wait,
of them.
people
Yeah,
are
both of them,
loving it.
yeah.
Yeah, like without TikTok blowing up Lorna Shore's like the pig squeal.
Yeah.
That in that song is notorious now. And like they're
Oh, yeah.
headlining like Download Festival.
Yeah.
Same thing
They're
with Sleep
playing
Token.
theater at Madison Square Garden. It's like, okay.
Like Sleep Token, this guy who said he's like, I remember having to pick them up from the airport and not knowing their names, not being able to ask their names to play like a pub in the middle of like the UK. He's like, now I'm picking them up from the airport. We're boys, and it's like they're headlining festivals.
Sleep Token was always like your band's favorite band. Like every guitarist I knew was like, dude, you gotta listen to Sleep Token. So it's like the first 2 albums were like super underground, and now it's like you blink and it's like you have to find somebody not listening to Sleep Token now. It's so
bumper stickers
yeah,
and like soccer moms.
yeah.
It's like the same vibe now, and I'm looking around like, it's a Sleep Token sticker, and I look in the car, and it's like
Just like somebody just picking up a kid from
average-
Target. Like, hey, what's going on? Yeah,
How'd that happen?
yeah.
shit.
TikTok's
Another
crazy.
band- Another band that blew up like sky high because of TikTok is Bad Omens.
Oh,
Yeah. Oh my
Quite
god. Yeah.
literally overnight.
I
Yeah.
should forget
that.
They
That
were
whole
big.
genre exploded during, I guess, social media, like TikTok especially. Is just
Yeah.
that like pop, like just
Pop meets
cheesy,
rock.
like,
Yeah.
What kind of takes what's very popular, makes it a little different.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And people,
Because you have,
they
you have
look at
them, and then you have man, I'm not be able to think of it.
I think I know, but I don't know. Our Last Night that was the band that was
Yeah.
big for a while. And I think they stopped.
Wage War.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Them
feel-
and they
I feel
kind
like
of
Wage
have.
War a little bit less with social media. Like they've
Yeah.
been doing it for a while,
Mhm.
but wasn't Wage War the band that Bad Omens was opening for when their name was like that big on the flyer and they made a big shit about it?
Oh my god. That was a funny. That was
That
a
they,
funny
like,
drama
took
arc.
over and
I miss when those were the metal artists. It's just like
Yeah.
it's just people beefing over JPEGs. It's like this is great. I love this. This is awesome.
there hasn't been like a good quality metal beef in a while.
Uh,
It's just
Oceano.
usually-
Oh, the Oceano.
Oceano versus who? There's somebody.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
it's just them.
First a flyer.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Oceano versus Self, Adam versus Fans.
Such a shame, man.
it's like
Dude, that was unexpected
I
for him
love
to be
that.
like, "Fuck
Yeah.
the fans, I hate you all.
Like,
This is why
okay.
I'm quitting the band." Like, what?
that happened quick.
He's like,
Yeah.
I'm talented.
Incredibly.
yeah.
yeah.
Well, because what they were opening up for Attila on the last tour.
I think I don't know.
It was Attila and wasn't it Brand Sacrifice?
It might have been.
I don't know.
I know, like Alpha Wolf chimed in and started a bunch of shit
Yeah, I
because
know,
like
they
their
did.
old singer was. Yeah, that was ridiculous. I feel like
That's fine.
it's good that fans have that much power, but it's also so bad that the fans have that much power. Like, just go see the band you want to see and then go home if you don't like the rest. But, like, don't neglect yourself of the opportunity to see a band that you love in such a small setting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a much different experience in a smaller.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
God.
Absolutely. There's no doubt about that. Like, I'll always go back to, like, my two favorite shows that I've seen in a small setting. I saw Trivium and Machine Head at the Crazy Donkey. Separate occasions.
Oh, those
But,
are
like,
the days.
Trivium also
Never
had
been
Darkest
to
Hour
Crazy
on
Donkey.
that show.
Oh my god.
And Machine Head had Mutiny Within on that show.
Mutiny Within. I thought I'd never hear that name again.
Dude.
They still exist.
I don't know.
They do.
That
they
band
like
was
kind of are releasing
insane
another
back in my high school
Low
days.
key now, though.
Yeah.
They kind of fell off the map.
I
I don't
only do
know.
like Europe festivals, like
Yeah.
That
They
vocalist.
just kind of do their stuff online now for the
Nuts.
most part.
Nutty.
Yeah.
He's a trained opera singer, and he's just like, yeah, I'm just gonna hit this high note real quick.
Have
And
you
just-
ever heard of Into Eternity?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Same shit.
Yeah. It's
The guy's range is disgusting. Like, he goes from, like, just guttural growls to, like, high-ass notes.
and hits it like
Every
that.
time.
That and it's not like it's not like assisted or anything. It's like you hear what he is putting out.
Mhm.
You don't have any sort of like,
And it's not even on record only. Like the first time I ever saw them, like that was the first time I ever heard of them.
mm,
Seeing them open for Dream Theater,
mm.
and I was like, "Holy fuck, what is this?" band? I went home, I bought like 3 of their CDs.
Wow.
I was addicted, dude. Dream Theater, like they really opened my eyes to a lot of good bands.
Oh yeah.
Like
Dream
BT Band, I
Theater
found out about.
Those
it
are like your obsession.
That was
for
like my
years.
second or third obsession. Yeah.
You got me obsessed with them for
Mhm.
years.
Yeah. Well, you got me into Trivium, and that's
Yeah.
how this whole thing started.
Yeah, I was
You know?
a big Trivium fan. They were my biggest inspiration.
Same dude.
And then he introduced me to like Dream Theater and more prog, and then we started meeting in the middle.
Just lining it up.
And I don't know where we are.
I was so late
Forever.
at Dream Theater.
Yeah.
It was,
Yeah.
and like when we saw them when they were at MSG, or
Yeah,
right?
theater.
But
The one with Devin Townsend and Animals that happened
Oh.
recently. Yeah.
and then we also, what was the recent show? That was
The-
at Radio City.
Radio City, yeah. The
And-
evening
and,
with.
like,
That was fun.
There was Mirrors is like a song that like over the last year has become like like I love listening to that song, and they played it. I'm just like, this is so cool.
I didn't even
thought I
know
was
that.
never gonna see this again. Like,
I saw Dream Theater open for Iron Maiden.
Oh, right.
yeah.
I think it was like 2015.
At the beach, right?
No, it was in Madison
Oh.
Square Garden. Yep, and it was the Final Frontier tour,
I
Oh,
did Deep Purple at the beach. They
Okay.
made one, yeah.
and like
Mm.
that was my first experience. Even like I was like, "Who's Dream Theater?" And then like I saw the guy's keyboard, and then they played Panic Attack, and I was like, "You can do that."
I'll kill to be at that show. Iron Maiden and Dream Theater.
yeah.
Dude, Iron Maiden was my thing, and I was so made fun of for
I
it.
think the Iron Maiden show we went to was
Judas Priest, right?
Was it Judas Priest?
Yeah.
I know Alice Cooper opened because that's when Orianthi was playing with
Yeah.
Alice Cooper.
Yeah.
That was cool. And I was like, that's fucking Orianthi. What the fuck?
Alice Cooper like decapitated him.
Yeah.
It's his whole stage show.
Alice email finds
Crazy.
me.
I'm kind of sad that like I missed the cycle of like Metallica and Pantera coming through, because like I've seen like a lot of footage from those shows, and it's like unreal. Where it's like,
Yeah.
not a big Pantera guy, but like I'll listen to it. But like
Yeah.
Metallica has been on a pedestal for any metal guy for since you like heard Enter Sandman or One or something. But I'm gonna try to go to one of their European dates next year.
That's
I'm gonna like really try.
Dude, they got Avatar next year too.
Yeah.
It's thick.
I think Gojira's
Yeah.
gonna be on that, and then Knock
We
Loose
gotta-
is also
We
supposed
gotta,
to.
we gotta brainstorm that.
Yeah,
we
yeah,
gotta
dude.
We gotta brainstorm that.
I've seen Knock Loose once,
Mhm.
and I will 100% see them again.
That was a lot of
Yeah, I've seen them a couple times now. Like they're just crazy.
Yeah.
Except like I saw them last year with Slipknot,
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
and then I saw them I think almost 3 years ago now with Motionless in White at Manhattan Center, whatever the fuck it's called. They leveled the place.
Yeah.
Manhattan Center.
Yeah.
I have never seen a crowd like that. Slipknot was like they were tame, but I think that's more so because like the rest of the crowd was Slipknot fans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And dude, I have never seen an entire floor move before.
Oh yeah.
I have never seen that.
Me and
shit.
Jimmy went to see them. That was like one of the ballrooms
It's one yeah.
in the city.
Yeah.
And they take the stage, and I look at Jimmy. I'm just like, see ya. And like, literally,
I
like,
literally walked to the
first-
side of the stage. So I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm leaving. I'm going
First
to
hit,
safety.
Jimmy's gone.
I
And
left.
I'm just like, where's my friend?
I went.
Oh, no.
I went 25 feet. I'm like, give me your bag.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go stand not there.
Yeah. And honestly, it like solidified me being one a fan, and like just being influenced by them
Yeah.
that much more. Like what they play is not super techy, but like
Mhm.
it's just it sounds right
Yeah.
every time. And it's like their drummer is, big dude just like
Yeah.
me, love it, and like owns it, and he's like really good at just filling the void and
Mhm.
like just giving it the energy that it needs for
Yeah.
everyone else to like
Yeah.
feel it, and I love it.
I think that's the thing too. It even adds on to the whole conversation about like TikTok and things getting more popular and more people being open to that.
Yeah.
It's like I think more people are willing to listen to different things, like than like executives make it out to be. Where it's
Mhm.
like people who are going to Target can listen to Sleep Token and then go listen to Suffocate and then go listen to I don't know, Natasha Bedingfield or something like that. It's like
Good plug.
we're oh my god.
Next
Remember,
summer,
also you
world tour.
The people are more open to hearing things than like marketing gives them credit for.
it's also like free now. Used to be you have to buy a
Yeah.
CD or listen to it on the
Yeah,
radio.
it's like am I gonna spend $12 to maybe like this shit? No.
Now I look them up on YouTube, Spotify, or something.
Yeah.
And I go, oh, I like this. I'm going to follow them,
Mhm.
and they release it for free, and you pay to go see the shows.
Yeah.
You know,
But
used to be a
also
lot
pay
more.
them more.
Yes.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Please.
It works hand in hand though, because like artists never really made their money off of album sales.
No.
Like
Yeah.
that was always reimbursing the labels and shit. Like
Yeah.
they never really got rich off of album sales. It was always the shows. It was always the
Yeah.
merch. So like where I see all sides with the Spotify bullshit, it's also at the same point like they weren't gonna make their money back on that anyway.
Yeah.
It was always gonna be like go buy a ticket to the show.
It's
Always
just-
go buy a shirt or like some shit. You know, like
Yeah, I think people were just hopeful at the beginning that it's like by like what it was like disenfranchising the music industry that was like means like oh we're gonna get more money and then
Yeah.
it's like sorry
More or less the
we're
same.
still a company
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know I mean even like it's like that I think that's important because it's like for like BT Bam it's like I've seen BT Bam every single time they've come out here minus like one time since like 2012
Yeah.
I pirated all their albums like, and I subsequently gave them $20 to $60 every year and a ticket and so it's like it comes back you know
And all the merch and the shirts.
Exactly.
A lot
Yeah.
of shirts.
oh yeah plenty of shirts
it comes full swing with the fact that like
mm-hmm.
you have the Super Bowl halftime show every year, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Every year, whoever does that halftime show performs that show for free,
Mhm.
with hopes that that's going to generate ticket sales.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So they're willing to set foot in front of millions and millions of people, do a 15, 20-minute show, and pray that that generates into ticket sales.
Yeah.
But that's still all those people. If you charge them $1 to see that,
Yeah.
that person's walking out rich as fuck.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
the sponsors don't even pay them. They don't make
Yeah.
a dime on those shows.
Mm-hmm.
But when they say, "Hey, we're playing stadiums this summer," and every single show sells out, they're not the ones crying about money.
Right.
No.
Yeah.
You know. So I mean, yeah, it should be more ethical. Yeah, bands should be like receive more kickback from their streams and
Yeah.
shit. But like at the same time, bands also have it in their hands. If you
Mhm.
print copies, I mean, really, who's got a fucking CD player anymore? And that sucks. But
Well, that might be coming back.
CDs
It's coming back.
CDs are coming back.
I like
July-
I hate the fact-
I'm not
July
saying it
2nd.
because we've got 100 CDs burning a hole in my basement.
Putting it here.
But-
Putting it here. CDs are coming back. I'm saying it.
I'm
I
on the
really-
fence. I like my pocket with a billion songs on it.
Yeah.
Don't get him
I
started.
I buy like
Physical media, Andy over here.
I love records. I love CDs, tapes. I wanted a reel to reel of our album, like
That's awesome.
just to have. It's like and
Still
see,
doesn't have a real player.
I just
I have access to
one
it.
thing.
I also just want it.
Yeah.
But
Cool.
a lot of companies now are taking the technology for CD players because it was basically skipped over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it went from records, cassettes to CDs, but the CDs were in the same like they plateaued for a long time.
Yes.
And then it was like, oh, everything's digital now.
yeah.
Now people are going back to CDs and being like, oh, we could have made this so much better.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like, why didn't we? And now a lot of companies are making these higher end CD players that are like the clarity's there. Like you're getting a ton of like for your money
Mhm.
just for a CD now. And it's really cool to see like the progression of just an older technology that's like being brought into the new age, and it's super sick.
There's always tinkers. You still have radio heads who
Yeah.
get the
Yeah.
highest end equipment, and they have these things that blow with anything out of the water from 20 years ago.
Yeah.
It's like, dang, you know, you do you.
Did you hear about the
It sounds
did you hear
good,
about
I
the
gotta
Lord
say.
CD that just came out?
What part about it?
Lord.
A couple things.
The CD,
Lord,
the,
Lord,
the,
Lord.
the Lord. Oh,
No,
The-
I am Lord.
isn't it her?
Yeah.
Randy. Yeah.
Yeah, Randy. Randy Lord? Am I wrong?
Mhm.
No, it's just Lord.
Just Lord?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the only version of the CD that she came out with was a clear disc, and it's usually the ones that are on top. So it looks really cool, but most of the older like car CD players need that like almost like that like top layer, that like reflective layer. So most like stock car cheaper players cannot play this album at all. So it's like the people are trying to do creative things with his.
I may or may not need to go get the new one.
Yeah, listen to it.
It's super cool. I
Just have appreciation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like innovation, even selling old technology, just to make it cool.
Yeah.
It's just fun.
That's why cassettes are coming back now. Everybody's selling cassettes, and I'm like, why are we selling cassettes? And it's like
vintage.
It's fun. It's just more of a collectible, you know. I mean, that's how I kind of look at vinyls. Like, I don't like. I have a broken player that I will fix eventually.
I'll fix it for you.
Okay, you heard it.
Just buy the part.
I'll buy the part. But I just treat them as like, I just want the album art big, and it comes with the music. So
it's kind of nice to have just to put up on your wall.
When we played that Sand City show, the band directly next to us on the merch table was selling cassettes, and some random guy at the bar,
I remember that,
got up, wasn't there for the show, and bought all 4.
I think that was
versions.
Bor was next to us, right? Or was it Bor? Or was it
War?
Was it Carcosa?
Carcosa?
I got Carcosa.
Yeah.
Carcosa's cool too.
They
There's so much
fun.
man.
Shut up,
Yeah.
Danny Hammer.
Danny Hammer.
Ding.
That guy, I'm in like a group chat with that guy, and he's super reliable, super like smart when it comes to drum stuff.
Yeah.
He's a genius.
Yeah.
Love that guy.
He just opened a studio upstate.
Oh shit.
He's doing the thing.
Nice.
Yeah.
Love
dope.
Oh, that's the kid he posted in the chat the other day. It's gorgeous. It's an SJC, but it's gorgeous.
So I want to circle back to you guys for a minute. I know we kind of got on like the world's largest tangent, but
it happens.
You get 6
That's
people
every
in
night with us.
Yeah.
This is like the most normal day ever.
I just want to make sure that we get the most out of the time, because if we got a cutscene, I want to make sure that we
Got it. Yeah.
So when it comes to the band, I always ask everybody this, even though it's a question that I really try not to ask people, but I am just infatuated with it. So like, what influences do you guys come from? Like, what made you want to pick up your instrument or do vocals, or just say, this is so fucking cool, I want to do that too?
Boy, you want to start?
Sure. I mean, the reason I'm in a band today is because of like my family. My uncle's been in bands for years. My cousin's been in bands for years. His band opened for Motley Crue years ago.
I didn't remember
They're
that.
a band called Nothing Sacred. They're straight Pantera thrash. But my like musical influences for me growing up was probably like Howard Jones from Killswitch, Randy Blythe, of course, Lamb of God, Iron Maiden, big stepping stone for me. I went from like Linkin Park to Iron Maiden, and I was like, whoa. And that is where I get all my like theatrical behavior from, because I'm super into concepts. I'm super into like packing the stage out with props and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's like,
Love those light boxes.
Yeah.
it's like when you see Iron Maiden for the first time and you're 13, and they bring Eddie out and he's 12 feet tall, and Bruce is waving the British flag, and I'm just like, I could do this.
Yeah.
You know, I still haven't seen Maiden, and I hate that for myself.
I have the same problem.
Yeah.
It's
I've
fun.
wanted to see
Should've
them
come
so
with
long.
us.
Yeah,
I know.
Back. They'll be back again.
Yeah.
I want to see them so bad.
Hope so.
Yep.
Once the coffers start running dry.
Well, we're almost down. Okay, time for another tour.
Jet fuel's expensive.
But to put a bow on myself, I was always scared to like be in a band, and like I don't know if I could do it and stuff like that. And then I got my first opportunity with More Myself to Kill, because I was their biggest fan.
Oh, that's
I
awesome.
knew all their words, I knew everything, and it was like the same thing that happened here, where it was like there was an outing, and then I was the ninth inning, if you will.
You saved it. You hit a home run.
So
Yes.
That's awesome, dude.
Mhm.
Steve, what about you, man?
Funny enough, I started acoustic guitar when I was very young. My dad listened to a lot of old classic rock, Eagles. I was a big John Denver fan. And then one day on TV, I remember I was eating my cereal. On MTV, Megadeth was playing.
Wow.
Just, what is this? And it just changed everything, because I got my Strat which I used to only play like some classic rock, and I'm like, how do I get that to sound like this? And it went down this whole rabbit hole.
And you tried.
And I tried.
You tried.
You tried for a while.
I loved it. I love the energy of the music. It changed my whole perspective, and I got into Trivium was one of my biggest influence after Megadeth. Love those two bands. I discovered Iron Maiden. I love those guys. I know I was late to the party, but they were so great.
Yeah.
Then he introduced me to Dream Theater, and I just got more and more prog. I still kept my thrashy influences, which I love to throw in places sometimes.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah,
Yeah, it's you know. I like the energy. I like the technicality, and I like how we can bring different elements and still have it feel in place.
Yeah.
And like a single genre, like maybe like jazz or classic rock, has like that sound.
Mhm.
Progressive metal, really kind of the sky is the limit. You can add fusion in there. You can add jazz in there, electronic. You can
Yeah.
so many different elements. It's so much fun,
Mhm.
and that's what I really like about our different styles. We all come from different backgrounds and different musical interests, so to speak.
Yeah.
And it comes together really well. I think so.
So with Trivium, were you at that show at Pier 17?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Damn. We must have.
We got there as rain started.
Oh,
Because we missed the Brooklyn Bridge exit, and we had to do the thing where it's like, hey, you missed this one stupid turn. Here's a half hour to your commute.
God,
sucker.
oh man, I was pissed off.
Yeah.
The mountain goat shit.
Just cursing every official in that.
Yeah. So we basically got in, we saw Trivium, and then I was like, okay, let's go home. So right back.
We saw what we wanted to. And I was like, I got it.
Let's okay. We
It's
saw
a Wednesday.
Yeah, it's a Wednesday. It's like, there we go. Let's get Taco Bell and get the hell out of here.
It was a fun show. I really like that big animatronic.
They had the inflatable
the
ascendancy guy.
Creepy eye.
That was cool.
They're so good so good live. Such good stage presence. Matt,
Yeah.
it's great. Everyone's great.
Yeah, they're absolutely incredible. And
Yeah.
I mean, like, I saw them, I want to say almost their beginning. Like, I saw them with Open for Children of Bodom at Irving Plaza, I think in like 05.
Damn.
It was
It's not
it was
a name I've heard in a while.
it was nuts. It was the Ascendancy tour. Like, they were just starting to transition over to like Crusade era, so they were playing like Razorbacks and shit. They did a whole Pantera medley.
Oh wow.
But it was early in their career where like they were still closing the show with the Ride the Lightning riff.
Oh man,
That's so cool.
But
hot take, Crusades, fucking awesome.
I love
it to
Yeah.
death. I don't know why it's a hot take, but
anyone that I know
I don't know.
anyone I
so
know
I love both.
Yeah.
anyone know that genuinely loves Trivium, I always ask about Crusade because it's so hot or cold.
Yeah.
I love that album, dude.
I love it because I was still getting into heavy music. The growling threw me off, and they had a mix.
Yeah.
So I was introduced with Crusades. I'm like, oh, this is awesome. I go back to Ascendancy. I'm like, whoa, this is different.
Yeah.
And they were my gateway, I guess, to the heavier stuff.
And then from there, it's like Shogun just put him next
Oh
level
my
forever.
god, Shogun, Chef's Kiss, love that.
But yeah, that was a sick show. Also, like, after Trivium was done, I was like, I don't need to be here.
Yeah.
I was like,
I love Bullet, but like I don't need to be here.
We're good. It's fucking Wednesday.
yeah, it's a Wednesday.
So Zach, what about you, dude?
Oh man, there's a long story. I'm so sorry.
Go for it.
This is a podcast.
I know.
It's called content.
Growing up in my house, we're not all musically inclined, but we're all like, I guess you could say that like the spectrum of musically inclined. Both my parents were in marching bands. My older sister was like an oboe player. Like, music surrounded us a lot. My uncle used to write drum stuff for the Hawthorne Caballeros back in the day, and I went to one of their practices and it was like blown away. I was like, this is sick. Like, I love marching band. This is awesome. Got really into drums, wanted to play the clarinet first, and then my parents were like, why not play the drums? I'm like, I thought it would be too loud. And they're like, no, do it. I'm like, you said okay.
Remember this.
First mistake.
Yeah. Played my heart out for a while as a kid, but never formally took lessons.
Mhm.
And I think looking back on it now, best decision I ever made, because it really like lets me be free behind the kit, and I don't have any Like nothing's telling me like, oh, this doesn't go here, this goes here. I didn't start getting into like heavier music until like mid high school. Like I loved Rush growing up. That was like my parents like drove that home. They're like, okay, if you want to be a drummer, this is the drummer you listen to. Neil Peart is amazing, and I'm just like, cool. And then like from there, it was like, he has a big hit. I want a big hit. Like, my parents like, you don't need it. I'm like, yes, I do. I don't know what you're talking
You
about.
said.
Yeah.
Or be surrounded.
I remember I fought my dad on getting a double pedal because he's like, no, you haven't learned everything on a single. I'm like, I'm not going to. Like,
But John Bonham played everything with one.
but yeah, heavier music didn't really start for me until like mid high school, where I was introduced to like Korn, Slipknot, and a lot of the new metal stuff. And like I was kind of like spoon fed things from friends. So like Children of Bodom's in the mix, Lamb of God's been there for a while. Like I used to have the American metal flag like in my room. And,
Yeah.
like my parents were always like, "What's that?" I'm just like, "It's a band thing, promise." And then from there, once I got like sunk my teeth into the genre, I started to branch off into a ton of other stuff, like a lot heavier stuff, like early Whitechapel, Suicide Silence when Mitch Lucker was around. Like that was a time for me where it's just like no one else is really giving this a shot, and I'm sitting here like running that shit all day. Chris Adler is one of like the strongest influences of my drumming since the beginning of me understanding like writing and playing.
That's awesome.
And then as time goes on, like I just tend to go to more heavier stuff like Knock Loose, Lorna Shore, like Austin Archie is a sick drummer. And a lot of like session guys, like Alex Rudinger. Like with the day I met Alex Rudinger, it was like I touched God. It was crazy. Like that dude, like I saw him, we went to, it was Mulcahy's.
Yeah, with Whitechapel.
He was touring with Chapel.
Damn.
And I'm like at the bar and I turn around and he's like putting his gear away and I turn around, I'm like, dude, you're awesome. And he's like, get over here. And I'm just like, what? And like have a conversation with him, talking like cymbals and drum heads and stuff. I'm like, I'm literally talking to the guy I see on the internet all the time.
Yeah.
And then Between the Buried and Me was introduced to me. I was very late to that party because I still think like Alaska is one of their best albums, but everyone else is just like, nah, you don't even know. And then, Parallax 2 and all that stuff went through there. Dream Theater also very late to the party, but Honor Thy Father, there's a video.
Dude, Honor Thy Father is the best Dream Theater song ever.
There's a drum playthrough with Mike Portnoy where it's just him. And I can remember watching that video like at least like 5 to 10 times a day and trying to like figure out his sticking, like how his time changes and everything. And it's like,
I'm pretty sure that video is on that DVD over there.
You might be right.
that is awesome.
Oh my god.
But in that DVD, he shows you how to play it too. He breaks it down like
I didn't know that.
That's awesome.
He's gonna be here till 2 in the morning. It's all over.
And yeah, I guess a lot of where my playing comes from is a lot of like it really depends on the week for me.
Yeah.
Like I don't do a lot of like I stick to this specific play style. I do a lot of like I spread myself out where like I'll listen to like jazz albums for like a few days and I'll somehow shoehorn something I heard into a song or something. Like I like guys that are very like genre, like they don't lock themselves in. They can kind of just play a lot. And I like to think that I can do that, and I hope I eventually do get to play a whole bunch of genres.
We're always jazzing out.
Yeah. Like
Yes, you are.
and I think going back to like not taking formal lessons, like that helped me learn how to like improv over anything. Like you literally play me something, I'm gonna find a way to put something cool over it eventually. It might take a little while, but eventually. And also like meeting guys was a big thing for me. Like like I met Blake Richardson because like he streamed over COVID and like I sent him like $200 because I was bored. And then he's like, dude, why would you do that? And I'm just like, because I got money to burn. I'm sorry. Like sent me like this care package the next time they played in the city. Like I waited out front of the venue for him, and he came out, and we like chit chatted for a bit, and then Rivers of Nile. They're like the new one on the list.
Yeah.
Rivers of
They're crazy.
Nile is unbelievable. Their new record it's great.
It's so much, it's so much fun.
And Jared Klein of Rivers of Nile. On a whim, I like messaged him on Instagram while they were on tour in Europe a few years ago. It was like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And he answered me, and I was like, no way, no way. And like it just started like the conversation, and we're just like talking about drum stuff, talking about life stuff, and I'm just like, am I really becoming friends with Jared Klein? And now every time like they're in the city, it's like I let him know, and he's just like, what up? And it's like, yo, this is dope. And then I don't know, the most recent, I don't know, Turnstile. That's like,
Oh, yeah, Turnstile's like 2 weeks ago for you, yeah.
Turnstile is very, very late to that party, but oh my god,
they're a band that I'm still trying to get into a little bit.
They're so Glow On is very from what I've seen and heard from other fans, it's almost like a victory lap for them from the previous record, which if you like look at it from that POV, it's like you feel it. Like a lot of the songs, they're just fun. There's a lot of like melancholy like ish parts, but then it's like also very happy at the same time. It's awesome. Definitely like love Turnstile. They're like they're my album of the year so far. So
Really?
yeah.
All right, that's tall. There's been great music out this
I
week.
know, and like not to discount anybody, but like that's the one that just like if I'm in my truck on my way to work and I want to like I don't want to choose what I'm listening to, it's just like put on, go on, it's fine. I'll be halfway through by the time I get into work.
I'm going to put that on tomorrow then, I think.
Yeah.
So Greg, what about you?
So I, like everybody else, I was like kind of surrounded with music growing up. And a little bit of Tethered lore here. Steve is my brother.
Oh no.
Yo, for 6 years of me being in the band, never knew that.
I was in the band, and he's like,
I don't remember who said what, but someone's like, "Oh, I'm gonna kick my brother's ass," and I'm just like, "Who's your brother?" And then
This guy, he's talking about.
answered for the other. I
He
was like,
came up to me after practice one day. He's like, are they fucking with me? I'm like, no.
"Oh my god, it was
Yeah.
what a night."
So much fun.
So yeah, I've always had music around. My dad played guitar, my brother played guitar, my uncles play guitar, and I played violin when I was like growing up in school, but it never really like clicked with me until I met this fucker, and he was playing guitar and he was looking to make a band, and he said, I need a singer and I need a drummer and I need a bassist. And I'm like, oh, I can't sing. And no one wants to play the bass.
And now he's singer bassist.
So I asked my dad, hey, can I get a drum set for Christmas? And he said, absolutely not. But so I got a bass.
13.
There you go.
And then like it ended up like really sticking with me. I really fell in love with it almost immediately. But what really like I started out really only listening to like Green Day, pop punk.
Green Day had some
Those were
bass lines
days.
though.
They did, and it was a lot of fun. But I quickly found myself like getting bored with it, and that's when I discovered Protest the Hero. It was over. They were like my biggest inspiration with like metal and proggier stuff in the beginning, and then that led to stuff like Tesseract and BT Bam and Intervals, all like some of the most incredible bassists in the scene in my opinion right now, and especially Amos Williams. I've incorporated a lot of his like slapping techniques and stuff into my routine.
I just got to get okay with not wearing shoes.
I don't need to go that crazy.
I mean, I don't wear shoes,
but yeah, the stuff like that like is really what like inspired my play style with what I went for on the album and everything. And yeah.
So funny story about Protest. I saw them open for Trivium on the Crusade tour.
What?
I wanted to go to that. I was
It was
I had money back then.
it was
Yeah.
It was Sanctity, Protest and Trivium, and they played at PlayStation Theater in the city. Protest comes out, and like, dude screaming his fucking face. Dude, crazy intensity. Can't hear a single word.
Yep.
Yeah. Sound guy had him all the way off. Like, I think, could hear himself, but there was nothing coming from the
That's
speakers.
a shame.
So we're all like
That's
turning around,
nice.
screaming at the sound guy, like, "Yo, you can't hear him. He's not up." Like, they eventually, like a song and a half way through, they turn him up, and you finally hear him. But dude, like, they're nuts. Musically, they're a fucking incredible band.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so much fun.
Yeah, a big reason I like them a lot is in the beginning stages of my metal like interest. I wasn't really a big fan of harsh vocals and screaming. It took me a while to get into it. And they had some screaming parts, but a lot of it was him just like screaming his lungs out, like as the highest pitch noise I've ever heard a man make before. And I'm just like, this is incredible.
Should listen to Meet You Within.
And as far as like a recent inspiration goes, at shout out to Dara, one of their shows in Huntington, the Industry. I saw them play with a band called Consider the Source, if you've ever heard of them.
I've heard the name.
They're a prog trio. There's bass, guitar, and drums. And this really short guy coming out with a $10,000 Fodera bass.
Shout out John Ferrar.
And this guy who looks like, I don't want to be mean, but he looks like he lives in like his parents' basement. He's wearing like the raggiest clothes, and he comes out with a two-necked guitar. One of them is an aluminum fretless, and they just blow my mind. My jaw is on the floor for the next hour and a half they played.
It is great.
And
it's such a good time.
I can't stop listening to him now. It's so much fun.
he just stood there like the whole time.
What the hell is this? I didn't know you could do this.
Yeah. They're so cool.
You know, people are tuned in when they don't sit. You just stand there and watch the show.
Yeah.
And then the biggest.
I was maybe the contortionist for the first time when I saw the guitarist doing the solo from Flourish, and I literally was up front going, and he saw me and he looked down like, hell yeah. It's like, I got one hooked in.
I love seeing that at shows where it's like they like ask the crowd to move, and then there's like people like, no, I want to hear this.
Oh, I need to pay attention.
I got a calculator out, brother.
Yeah.
What are you fucking on about?
I saw this band, 3. I don't know if you guys.
Yeah.
I saw them open Progressive Nation.
Oh, okay.
Tour.
Yeah.
There was like Dream Theater, Opeth, BT Bam.
Yeah.
I forgot to throw Opeth in there.
Yeah.
What a shame.
But
that's the one they did colors in full, I think. That was like the first time. That was like the first national tour they did colors. The colors run.
That was my first experience with BT Bam. I remember almost none of it.
Yeah.
But 3 came out and like just playing fucking flamenco guitar. Their lead guitarist was playing flamenco with his fingers, no pick. And the solo this dude ripped, I was like, holy fuck, dude. Crazy as shit that I didn't know like your fingers can do that.
This is really hard.
Ridiculous. If you get the opportunity to check them out, I think it's their first album. The band's called 3. You have to spell the whole word out though.
Oh.
But yeah, I'll put a link to Jimmy or something.
Got a whole lexicon now.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
But yeah, dude, I don't even know if they're still doing their thing. I think they're a Canadian band, but they ripped.
Yeah.
Dude, that set a very high bar for me. Like I will never be able to do that.
Yeah.
But Jimmy, what about you, dude?
So for me, I mean, a lot of my family wasn't really too musical. I mean, my grandma played upright bass for a little while, and
Grandma played upright bass?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah. My grandma Judy, she played upright bass for a while.
Oh yeah, Judy.
The claim to fame I will always give my grandma is she could play Beatles rock band bass on medium, and she loved it. Just it. But but the music of my parents, so like my dad's very into like ELO and Billy Joel and Boston and that kind of stuff, and my mom was like Yanni and like Lorena McKenna, so like it's like ethereal and record man. Oh my god! But when I was younger, she used to listen to like Lorena McKenna and like Yanni, all this like really spacey like and it's like. And when I was younger, I didn't like music like at all. I didn't care about music at all. I played video games and that was it. Like my parents one year asked me like, for like a birthday or Christmas. It was like, oh, like I wanted like a Wii, like a Nintendo Wii, and they're like, oh, what about this iPod thing? And I'm like, what the hell am I gonna do with an iPod? I'm like, I would like the Wii. I don't want the iPod. And then I got shaving cream one year on Halloween. It will make sense. And I said, I'm never trick-or-treating again. Fuck this. I hate these people. Why are they doing this? And I went to Dave and Buster's and they had double jackpot night. I come to think of it, I think this is how my gambling addiction started. Every jackpot, every ticket you got was doubled in value. I went to one machine, I won the jackpot 3 times. So I won it 6 times. And I was able to get Guitar Hero 3 on the Wii.
That's dope.
And then that was my introduction to like music.
Yeah.
And I played that and I knew like none of these songs. I knew nothing in there. It was my first time hearing Metallica, my first time hearing Slayer. I played like Raining Blood played for the first time and I think I screamed. I was so terrified. I was like I was like, what is this? Like I can't do this. And then shortly after I realized like it was like the dumb kid moment of like, wait, you're telling me I could listen to these songs that are in Guitar Hero 3 anywhere? Like and whenever I want? Like, excuse me?
I'll have to play all the notes.
These
to
are
hear it.
real songs?
I didn't like get that because like beforehand like the most music I listened to was like I liked the song Grand Illusion by Styx. I liked She Bang by what's his name? Enrique is that
No,
the real one, the real version.
Ricky Martin.
Ricky Martin. Yes. Yeah. And then like the first album I ever bought was Demon Days by Gorillaz. And I bought it because I was like, ooh, cartoon characters. I like that. And then so Guitar Hero came out, the next game came out. We started, me, Greg, and Steve started hanging out. There was a point I was at their house like every day because we would just geek out and play Guitar Hero and do this or play video games. And then the next game came out and World Tour was on that and Hotel California was in that game. And I forgot I knew that song when I was like, oh, I've heard that song. Dad's played that song before. And I liked it. And at the time I was like just looking around on YouTube and I found like a video of like Joe Walsh playing like the solo live. And I just sat there and I looked for a minute and then I like hard cut to the other camera. I go up to my dad. I'm like, hey, Dad, I want to do this. He's like, what? I'm like, this. He's like, you want to play guitar? I'm like, I don't know. I want to do that. And then we went to Guitar Center and I got like a $90 dinky guitar. I got some lessons and we kind of came into this. I mean, so it really, for me with music, it started with like thrash, like Metallica. And then I vividly remember I had a paper I had to do in high school and I turned on VH1 and there was some David Gilmour concert on. I was like, wait a minute, why can't I think clearly now? Because I was just listening to it. I had no idea who this guy was. I didn't know who Pink Floyd was. And I was like, and then so I got into Pink Floyd and then I found out Dream Theater was Metallica and Pink Floyd. And I'm like, excuse me?
Pink Floyd.
I love Pink Floyd. Oh my God.
Blasting it.
I had everything. I had the shirts, the hoodies. Oh my God, dude.
I wanted to get the Prism on my arm.
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah.
So cool. Yeah.
My dad was huge into Pink Floyd.
Yeah.
Like, big time. The whole Wall album,
Yeah.
3-part CD set
Oh
in
my
his
God.
glove box in his cars.
You want to talk about a perfect album? The
Yeah.
Wall is
Yeah.
perfect.
But at Yankee Stadium.
I've seen it. I think I
So
saw
good.
twice at Nassau and I saw the Yankee Stadium one.
Yeah.
I don't know where you were sitting at Yankee Stadium, but I had the baseball vocals. you know, you get the Doppler effect. So I had that with like saw ya, thought ya. Like, what the fuck are we doing right now, bro?
It was like top right. Like all I remember.
I always call it the baseball.
Baseball. Let's go Reds.
That's oh my God. So
And we're back.
So yeah, like around that Pink Floyd Dream Theater time, it was like Rush, and then we were hanging out more. And I don't remember like the moment where it happened. I think I was talking with you, and we just decided to play. We wrote like some janky demo
Voyager.
Voyager.
Ah, man.
And you had this little this little
It's the
Digitac
Digitac pedal that
Yeah.
plugged into my computer. I had no idea what it was doing.
and he played on the Trivium preset and that he made, like the metalcore preset, and I played on the Rush preset, or like vice versa.
Yeah,
I don't
something
remember.
like that.
I played on like the metal one, and you played on this like very thin, like Rush
Yeah.
sound. Yeah, and that was like we just started doing it, and then
And we wrote this sucker in.
everything was somehow bring it up, poor chump.
Yeah. I still remember that opening riff.
Oh, dude, yeah.
We could play
We
that all
play
day.
it all the time. I still play it. We're gonna get it in somewhere.
We are.
We're gonna find it.
Voyager will return.
Yeah.
Is that 20 years ago?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was
Probably
I was a sophomore in high school.
Yeah. So I was a junior in high school.
I was a
and you were a
senior.
senior in high school.
Yeah, that was 2010. That's
Oh my God.
when I first
Yeah.
started playing the bass.
How long in between when you got your first guitar did you guys like start Skepsis?
Oh, that's a great question.
Well, we made a band
When did
pretty
we-
quickly
Hold
after
on.
but it wasn't
Everybody did that.
Well, it was.
You have internet. When did
We
World 4 come
started
out?
doing our thing, and then I was friends with Joe Lupo, and he was a drummer.
Yeah.
So I roped him in, and I remember
Because you two were writing a lot. And then,
I met him in gym class. And it's like, you play drums? Sick. I want to play.
Probably World Tour came out in 2008.
Fucking Christ.
So probably like 2009 I get a guitar maybe, and then like what 2000
10, 11.
by 2011 we started like messing around.
I think because 2014 was our EP.
2014 was Skepsis EP.
2012 is when we really kind of got into it. We started doing shows.
2013, 2012. So yeah, maybe about
11.
The
two-
golden era.
probably,
Yeah.
Did we play shows together while I was still in high school?
Yes.
yeah.
I
So-
think.
We're the same age, yeah.
So probably two or
Remember
3
we had
years.
that
Yeah.
show, just you, me, Joe Lupo, wish.
Yeah, on Shelter Island.
Yes.
That was fun.
I remember.
was
I
the
remember.
trip.
I remember playing your birthday in the backyard.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you did.
No,
You just
yeah, that was your
scorpion.
That was my high school
Graduation.
graduation.
Yeah, your high school graduation.
Not my birthday. Yeah.
We did.
We were doing.
You did
so then we were
Scorpions.
playing shows while
Megadeth.
We played Holy Wars. I tried to learn Holy Wars. Oh my god.
I had fun. That was a good memory.
There's one video of me playing drums in high school, and we had like the Satchel stock. That's what we called it.
Yeah.
And my dad was like halfway across the room, with zoomed in on me, just me, and it's the whole set, and it's like I cherish it because it's like it's my dad, but like it's really weird because I don't look like that anymore. Two is like my playing is awful. I'm just like people like this.
Our friend Courtney, who does a lot of like the filmography with us and helps out a ton with all that stuff.
Shout out Courtney.
Yeah,
She's
shout
done a lot
out.
for us.
Yeah, she's great. Yeah, we've got
Mustache
A lot of
Tiger,
videos.
Twitch.
I think,
Yup.
at this point.
we've got so that I think that's the brief tangent, but it ties in. Is like that's the cool thing about all this. It's like we talk about Skepsis a lot. We talk about Mom TK a lot. All these things. And it's just really because it's this group of like 15 to 20 people who have just managed to stay around for so long and be involved in all this stuff. And it's like that's why this shit matters like so much to me, is because it's just this time capsule of just like this like amalgamation of good people just doing all this stuff together. And it happens to be Tethered now, or it happens to be Mom DK now,
Larry Foreman is. It's the same people.
Yeah.
Really.
So
Kinda crazy.
there is one video that
Oh yeah.
Courtney had where it's the one and only video where all of us are in like frame, like we are all like existing at the same time. So you two jumped the stage. Our previous singer Connor was in there. It was all of us at Even Flow back in the day.
Yeah.
It was
I miss
so
Evil.
much fun. The
Really didn't know
wings.
each other.
I miss Evil.
So we had just met you
Yeah.
around that time.
Yeah.
I think.
That night, as a birthday gift to me, Connor asked me to like feature on do guest vocals for Skepsis.
Yeah.
I remember. Wasn't
Oh,
Apprentice-
Was it the sword night
Yes.
too?
Yeah.
Sword night colors
So
of
we
war?
got those awards.
Nerf swords.
I did like the call and response parts.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then we had a foam sword fight on stage.
That was so much fun.
Birthday, Jake.
That's so much fun.
Yeah,
That was
and that was actually the first time I was ever on stage.
Yeah.
They with us, and now
Yeah.
you're back. It all comes full circle.
Sloppy seconds.
Look, we got the best of you. I'm happy. Like,
Yeah.
legit.
Just that's like the kind of great thing about all this is like it's all these really great people that have just been around and
I've existed in the same place. Maybe we knew each other, maybe we didn't, and now we all know who each other are.
Yeah.
We see each other around. We're just like, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's the crazy thing about how the music scene works too, though. It's like
Yeah.
you just meet people and then you don't really connect the dots.
Yeah.
Like through the years, I'm sure I've seen every single one of you.
Yep.
Many times.
You definitely look familiar.
Because I've seen Mom TK play before, and like I've definitely seen the rest of you guys because I've seen Skepsis play before.
Yeah.
Like,
You see Skepsis, you've seen.
You definitely look familiar to me.
Hair about here, right?
I used to have them.
Really? Oh yeah.
I used to have a much different hairstyle myself.
Hair about here.
I used to have an afro.
At my long, my hair was halfway down my back.
We all do.
Yeah.
I miss that shit every day of my life.
Yeah.
I had the bowl haircut for so long.
You did?
I did have the bowl.
You
I
did?
just didn't care.
Did this band know me with a beard, without a beard?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We knew in like lacrosse hair days.
I remember I didn't recognize you. I'm like, who's this guy? And it's like, that's Zach. I'm like,
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't even realize for like the first few months.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think with me with the like there's something I was thinking about when you were saying is like I got lessons for a few years just to like learn how to actually like move my hands, but after a while I was like, okay, I kind of reached like the child limit, but it's like I part of me still feels like I'm like I don't know what I'm doing, but I think that's a good thing where it's like I can just write dumb stuff that like
shouldn't work.
he's very technical, you're technical, and it's like I'll come in and do something and they'll be like, what is that? And like, I don't know.
It's fun.
I'm trying to dissect what key it's in.
Yeah.
Oh, this is what absolute nonsense. So it's like
I never do
It
that
is.
with
That's
that
what it
thing.
is. Yeah.
And it works though.
Yeah.
I love doing bullshit time signatures.
Yeah.
I love
He
that.
does.
Yeah.
I don't understand what you do, but I love it.
It's vibes.
That's the weird thing.
It's just vibe
It's the
based.
vibe.
It's vibe based. That's all. That's all it is.
I took 2 years of theory, and I feel like that destroyed my creativity for a while.
Really?
I had to shed all theory out of me in order to enjoy
Yeah.
music again. And like that sucks because there's a lot of good knowledge in there. But
Yeah.
at the same time,
Just
it's
like
like
the box, right?
yeah,
I-
exactly.
It's the book.
I never
Yeah.
formally learned music theory, but I spent a lot of time trying to learn scales,
Yeah.
tempo, time signatures, and I was always trying to stick to that. And every time I think I don't know how to get out of that, he comes up with some stupid fucking shit that I love.
And it's me just going, oh.
that works.
What is that?
Nothing. It's like, I don't know. I just put my hand here and there it is. That was our tagline, and still kind of is. It's not written, just played. Where we just like pull something out, and we're like, and then it's like it's just really a struggle to just be like, can you please remember that for 2 minutes?
2 minutes.
Please.
Long enough for me to get a recording. Please.
Now we're ready.
We've lost an entire album to just
Our own
ADHD.
Well, we'll start playing like 30 minutes of jamming, and we have like a cool idea. It's like, okay, I want to come back to that, and I can't remember what the
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then somebody gets a Coke Zero, and we're like, what are we doing?
I like our takes on theory.
Hmm.
It's a good blend
Mhm.
because we have like Greg who like really cares about the more composition side of it where it's notes, keys, and time signatures, and then like my side of it where as a drummer it's like I don't really get to fuck around with notes. It's rudiments, time signatures, and stickings.
Mhm.
And like being in this band has like pushed me to get better at that. And like I didn't see it for a while until like I'd say with over like the last year or so, where it's like I've started to actually feel like I'm good at my craft.
Yeah.
And it's like really weird because I'm like, I didn't do this formally. It was all learned on the fly. And it's like
Right.
now it's sticking. And it's like, oh, Jimmy wrote something in like a 5/4 thing. Steve wrote a 7/8 thing. How do we get them to go together? And it's just like, I'll figure it out.
It's like, we'll figure it out. It's like 3 months, but we'll do it.
Like,
Yeah.
like Greg's like, I don't know to describe your writing style because you wrote 11/8. Like,
I'm sorry.
Hey, at least
But
I was high and I took it out onto the couch. I'm sorry.
I heard it.
I love
yeah, this is your
This
fault.
really is my fault for listening.
You're an enabler.
I really am, honestly.
I love piggybacking on what Greg's doing because
Yeah.
it makes it like a fun thing for me. Like it's either my feet are following him or my hands are following him, and I get to pick which one. And
that
it's
was
like,
all for the trees.
Yeah,
that was all of that. Was
yeah.
that was like your whole thing.
I came back after like a week. I had to take off, and I came back. I was like, "What the fuck?" You just wrote this whole thing. I was like, "Shit,
it's like my favorite."
That kind of goes into like my whole playing style. That's what I take my takeaway from like Amos Williams and stuff like that is we have to be locked in, or it's just not going to work. So I spend a lot of time paying attention to what you do to your dismay.
And then I write lyrics based on Zach's drum parts.
Yeah, that's how Jake fits into the mold, you know. And like I don't know how you do that because I don't know how anyone follows what the hell I'm doing sometimes.
When you have Joe and Kyle as drill instructors for 10 years, and like you are in the booth and you're saying the same phrase over and over and over again, and they look you in the eyes through the glass and they say, "You're still fucking it up," and my brain doesn't comprehend what, where. How?
Yeah.
I'm like, I've done it this way the entire time. It's like, nope, you're second late. I'm like,
I gotta say though,
you get good at that.
Yeah.
I love how you like time your phrasing on the album. It was so unique when I heard it. It actually took me a second to really grasp. You weren't really following us.
Yeah.
No.
It was the
following the beat.
I love this.
Yeah.
It's really
because
cool.
it's different. We're playing all this crazy shit. I have no idea how anyone came up with lyrics over what we play, by the way.
Yeah.
Especially like without you, like when you do those like runs where you're just like, oh god, blah 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 blah, and I'm like, what the fuck is how did
It's locked in on the back.
yeah.
And then it's like a sandwich. I love it.
It was
so many
always
syllables in that word, Steve.
It was always kind of important to me to like not follow the guitars because like, so many like mainstream bands they'll just write lyrics that match the harmonies, the timing of all the guitar parts.
It's so unique.
And it's like the true like time signatures are like in the drums.
Yeah.
And like when you can bounce, because like other than you and you, there's really no other thing setting that in place.
Yeah, we're not really the grounding.
You guys could do whatever you want. And like as long
and
as
we
I
do.
can, like,
They're the pretty colors.
Yeah.
They're the structure.
Little do
They're
they
the
know,
frame that holds it all.
We
in place.
also do whatever we want.
It's awesome.
But we like it that way. We write riffs and it was like, come up with something.
Yeah.
That was one of the craziest memories. Speaking about you with the drill sergeant thing was like when we were in Westfall doing the album. Jay got in the booth and him and Anthony were working together, and I was just sitting there watching, and it was like Jake would do a take, Anthony wouldn't say a word, go back, do another take, do an overdub, do a lower vocal, do a higher vocal. And they didn't talk to each other at all. And like they didn't talk beforehand. He just walked in, hey, how you? Good, great, me. And they just started doing this. And I'm like, what the fuck are they doing? It's like, everything okay, like a lower vocal's gonna go here, a higher vocal's gonna go here. And they didn't speak to each other. It's like, okay, that was great. And I was like, what do you mean?
The whole session was just like, I'm gonna do that again. He's like, all right, cool. And the other one was like, all right, good, let's move on.
Yeah. And he's like, I'm gonna do that. He's like, yep. Yeah. Like the wavelength on that too. You too. I mean, just like Greg was in there. Greg was in there. I've always called him a sponge. He's just a sponge. You give him something, he's like, okay, and he's got it. And it's like, he was in there for a day and a half, did the whole album.
Damn,
like,
dude.
No, it took us like a week.
Took us like a week. We did have.
I double up every single.
I am learning to be more kind to myself here. We did have to take like
workload was not the same.
Layers of guitars.
And no, I was a lot more intense of experience than I thought. I thought, okay, 1 or 2 takes, not a big deal.
Oh my god!
But then it's like, I want to glue this. I want to play with it because there was a lot of playing.
Yeah,
he just took something. It's like, what sounds sick? Let's.
There was a lot of creativity in there, but it was like we were in there for like a week of like 6 to 8 hour days, like just for the two of us.
It was tough, but it was.
There was like one day I walked out of there and I was like, God damn, this is like, and it's like I've been waiting for this for years, and I was like, this is the worst day. And it's so bad. I shouldn't pick up a guitar ever. Like,
and then I come in, and then Anthony's like, "Oh man, I love you. You're great."
It's really funny. It's really funny talking to Anthony because he's like, he's like, how's your bassist? I'm like, my bassist is great. He's a sponge. And he's like, okay. And it's like, I'm sure as a recording producer, you hear that all the time. You hear that from everybody. Mm-hmm. And so like day one, he finished. He just turns and looks at me. He's like, I love you. Thank you. He's like, you didn't lie to me. I'm like, I would
take pride in my craft.
Good.
Yeah.
He hated us. It's like, why did you have to write this?
I don't think he hated
No,
us.
I'm joking. But when I busted out the sweeping, he's like, I hate you. He hated sweeping.
Oh yeah.
It's really when you guys brought up the acoustic that he was like, "Oh, man, come on."
We have a lot of like asynchronous parts.
Yeah.
We had to make sure they fit perfectly together.
And there's just a lot of stuff that stuff that I want is very like impractical. There's like the clean guitars.
We can touch on that later.
We'll talk about
Yeah.
There's like this clean guitar thing at the end of the album, like right at the end, and like I'm trying to explain to him like, okay, I'm gonna do 7 strums and they're all gonna be panned in different directions, and he's like, I'm surprised I have my head up.
That was a hard sell, but it worked out.
I got it. I got it to happen. He's like, okay, but it was a great experience. It was really eye-opening just how much it was and how much work had to go into it, because we were thinking about it for years and years and years.
Mhm.
So we talked to Anthony like 3 different times, from like we were going to do the EP with him, and then we were going to come in like 2018, and then we were going to come in 2020, and then it was like, okay, so it was like, and he was nothing but supportive. Him and Ray, nothing but supportive the whole time.
Love Ray.
Yeah.
It was a very eye-opening experience. I think that's something I think has really been interesting about this whole thing, is like, we've been doing all this for so long, but this is technically just like the beginning, because it's like we're not even a year into this album being out, and it's like so it's like closest thing actually starting, but like we've known each other for a decade, we've been doing this for a decade, and it's like, this is page 1, and it's like, what do you mean? So
yeah. We did think that it would be a lot less time between our EP and our first album, and it turns out 2 different bands now.
Yeah.
We even had an EP in between that we were going to do. I was trying to do.
We wrote whole new songs. And everything.
There's 3 songs that have never they've been live.
I tabbed them out.
I have the recordings still, but they're living on hard drive. They're not going to come out probably.
I got a video of one of them.
You do?
We did play some of them live once or twice.
We played Tappity Tap. I can't
played
remember the name.
Casualties.
Casualties.
And we played Paroxysm.
Mm-hmm.
We played. Oh, we loved Hopeless. Hopeless
Was people liked.
Really cool.
I really want to bring Hopeless back.
I
really want to.
I just like the chorus of that song. It was just bright,
it's great,
colorful,
and
and
great job with that one.
I was very happy with that.
Great.
Yeah, maybe we can bring back a guitar that's not in drop G sharp for a second.
Let's not get carried away.
Maybe I can play something that's not my ding dong.
That's the guy getting a
My
string
sister-
diesel.
Hey, I'm not getting it yet.
We used to have so many different tunings in Skepsis. We
Yeah.
play in standard D, drop C, and something else.
Just drop D.
Drop D.
So we literally
Yeah,
went to,
standard, drop D, and then drop C.
so like if we wanted backups, we'd have to bring 4 guitars each, like assholes.
And we did it.
And then these guys, I always had a 5-string because I didn't want to change tunings. And then these guys get a 7-string, and I'm like, oh wow, we're finally going to be doing the same. No, drop G sharp.
You can blame X Planet for that.
I
bro.
guess I'll buy a ding wall so I can play in your tuning.
It's Rocco's fault. Rocco's fault.
I like that we settled on drop C sharp though. It's very
It
unique
does sound
and
cool.
It's heavy
Yeah.
but colorful at the
Yeah.
same time.
Mhm.
Not too dark.
Yeah.
Like some people go way too deep, and I can't even hear the notes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that
You guys gave my Schecter such a hard time.
it's character.
That thing's B string was just a noodle.
It was. It was.
So, what do you guys? I mean, I know you're currently writing, but like, what's your plans for the next year-ish?
More
We're
shows,
already-
more writing.
Yeah.
We're already halfway through 2025. So
Yeah.
what's
Well,
Literally today.
We've been working on a lot of content to push out for this year. We have
Yeah.
a lot of stuff like sitting ready, like editing and stuff that we're going to
Yeah.
be releasing soon. And obviously, we're writing a whole bunch more songs.
Yeah.
And
My favorite part of the entire process.
The writing.
we
Yeah.
have a few shows now coming up.
Yeah, we got a show at the end of August with That Way Lies Madness and Trip Villain.
Yeah.
That was,
yeah.
I just remembered we're playing a Trip Villain.
That's always
Goliath?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh
Yes.
yeah. Mhm.
Sunday,
Yeah,
August
so that's gonna be
24th.
fun. But it's a lot of video stuff because that's also like a big passion for us. He's a big camera guy, and like we like doing that kind of production stuff. And like with me doing YouTube for a while, like I kind of got the Da Vinci bug of like I like editing, and Jake's getting in really into editing and really doing a lot of those like lyric, like or Without You lyric video he did. He's working on another one.
That's awesome.
So it's really more of just like kind of more on the content side, because it's like time in between shows is going to be long. It's like we're gonna burn everybody out if we play like every 2 to 3 weeks. We also can't play every 2 to 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So it's like
that's hard.
making stuff that's gonna last longer. I think
Name
is better.
fainting.
Yeah.
No, I like the schedule. We got every couple months we have a show, and
Yeah.
it's we get a lot of people because it's a lot of time in between.
Yeah.
Quality is not quantity.
Everything's more special. I mean, even like the set we've got set up for the next show, like we're already like there was all these like accidental really fun things we did, and I'm like, we have to actually like keep that really like there's so many
Like in For the Trees.
yeah, there's like all these little silly like things that add to it, and I think are going to make the live show feel a lot better.
Mhm.
Yeah, because you don't want the same experience as listening to the album. You want to pizzazz it. It's a show. You want to bring something unique and different.
So now it's more of like the whole thing's fun, but this is like the really fun part where it's like there's no pressure. There's no like you've spent a decade doing this and now you need to prove it to someone. It's just like that's been the biggest thing for I think all of us, is that like when the album came out, it was like kind of this like relief. You know,
It was like cutting the cord on the anchor. We're just
Yeah.
playing.
Now,
It's like,
we have
there was all these expectations
to
of
use as our bait.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's like we fucking did this thing. You know?
It felt
It's like,
good.
it's like
I will
look at
say,
this.
a lot of the content on the horizon is going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
A lot of playthrough stuff. There is, I don't know. I'm going to say it vaguely, but if you want to elaborate on
You gotta
it,
run that by him.
yeah,
That's
up
it.
to
You
you.
gotta run that by him.
There's
That's not my call.
Yeah, it's
I'll say this and only this. It's the biggest endeavor I've ever taken on.
It's
gonna be fun.
it's album related, like to cartography of the mind,
Yeah,
and it's going to be dope.
From the mind of the one who made the story.
Yeah, it's going to
Well,
be.
Let's just
We
set
had
the
a-
record straight.
We had a vague concept of
We had a
You
line.
guys gave me the where and when, and I gave it like the who and how.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's
It's going to be.
Yeah.
We got a drum playthrough coming out
Soon.
We just finished up wrapping that all together.
Got a
Yeah.
talk playthrough coming out
Yeah.
tomorrow at the time of filming.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I forgot.
That'll probably be out by the time this is up. So
Yeah.
Probably
Yeah.
do another couple
So-
playthroughs.
Yeah.
Just
we've basically got like our kind of like content strategy,
Yeah.
for lack of a better term, for throughout like September, and like some special stuff kind of at the end of the year, and then go kind of go into holiday time, and then see where it takes us.
Today's Wednesday, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was to be out on 4th of July.
Oh, okay. So yeah,
So
that'll definitely be out. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Got a vocal playthrough coming through.
Yeah.
Nice.
Live studio, no backing track or anything like that.
Mhm.
Very
Yeah.
cool.
Mhm.
Yes, it's a lot of fun stuff, and it's like I really like doing all that social media stuff, and we've all like it's also really cool. It's just like there's all these different ways we can kind of be creative in this besides just like riffs. It's like it's all these other things. It's like we spent like a half hour last night looking at like how to zoom in on something, and I was just like kind of geeking out about like zooms on an editing software.
30-second
He's
clip.
been mixing and learning how to record and stuff like that, and so that's been a new passion for him.
a lot
And
of fun.
yeah, and so it's just
I just love filming everything.
yeah,
Like I was telling Jimmy earlier today that like all of the, I guess you could call it like the side projects of this album have like made me reappreciate my camera and like actually using it, and it's a lot of fun. Like I don't like to be in front of the camera. Like the drum playthrough was like a little weird for me, but like that's whatever. But I love filming for like these guys.
Yeah.
They're
it comes out great.
yeah.
Comes out fantastic, bro.
I can relate to that, dude. I hated being in front of the camera.
Oh, me too.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Like
And I'll
that
let
was, I mean, that was the whole thing. Is that like I was doing a lot of like work from home shit like a couple years ago, and I had like a green screen set up. I was like ready for like I have to jump on a Zoom meeting and shit. And then like this past year, I lost my job in January, so I'm like, all right, well, you know what? I've been wanting to do a podcast for a while, so let me just jump in.
Yeah.
But the biggest hang up I had was like I could write the whole fucking thing. I could script it. I have the whole idea for it. I don't want to get in front of the camera.
Right. Yeah.
I
hardest
don't want
part.
to. I don't want to get in front of the camera, and I don't want to hear my voice. And like,
Yeah.
eventually, I got to a point where I'm like, well, how to just fucking do it?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a hard thing to get past.
But like, once you do it
Yeah.
once, it's easy to keep doing it. So like,
Yeah.
don't let that hang you up, man. Just keep going with it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Once you break
Cool.
through, it's like, oh, that wasn't so bad. I see this account.
It's tough being your own biggest critic.
Just disable the
Yeah.
comments.
I'm going through that a lot recently. Yeah.
I think everybody has.
But
Well, at some point, everyone's like, they get that imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
It's really
Mhm.
deep in their head. It's like,
I live in that.
Amen.
that's such a cool thing, though, is that like between you doing this and like so many of the bands I'm seeing now, a lot that you've had on Moon Groove, Dead Than Days, all these different bands. It's like I feel like from when we were first starting, it's like I feel like the caliber of effort that
Yeah.
people are putting into things now is so much higher than we're playing Revolution. My friend just hit that guy in the head. Steve went up on it's such an interesting thing, like, and it's kind of reassuring where it's like, I spend probably too much time thinking about this, but it's like just knowing that there's other people who are putting in as much work for things they want to do is like very reassuring.
It's huge.
Yeah.
When I started out in the scene, it was 2007,
Mhm.
and like you play a show, but you're on a bill with like 9 bands,
Oh.
and shit starts at fucking 6 o'clock, and it goes
Good
to
old
about 2
days.
o'clock in the morning. But that 2 a.m., like there's still people in the room.
Wow.
Now you go to 11 o'clock and you're like playing
Dead.
the sound guy.
Yeah.
it's
Um,
true.
And like it kind of goes hand in hand because it depends on the venue now too.
Yeah.
Shaker shows do really well with that kind of shit.
Mhm.
There's usually always a crowd that stays late. Even Flow was great with that shit.
Yeah.
There was always a crowd for Even Flow, and they had a built-in crowd, which was nice too, because everyone was there for the beer and wings.
Yeah.
Those
but-
wings, man.
Oh.
Jesus Christ.
Best wings. Best
Bring
wings
it
I've ever
back.
had.
More than anything, I miss those wings.
Yeah.
I think that's the thing too, is like, even like we played what was the name? City Sound, right?
Yeah, City Sound Stage.
It's like on paper, like that, that shouldn't be interesting, where it's like, oh, it's just a stage, there's no alcohol, there's no nothing. But they had a food truck outside, and it was like you can kind of go back in and forth, and it was like, it was more comfortable. I'm more comfortable
Yeah.
there. I'm more comfortable there than I am at like AMH some nights, where it's just like, okay, I can get alcohol, or I can get water, or I can stand here. And it's like, that's all I can do. And it's like, or you can go outside and get smoke bombed. It's like, okay, so it's like, yeah, I think it's interesting how like you need that kind of extra stuff like that. Yeah.
That's kind of where I was gearing up to go with this.
Yeah.
That like venues make the difference with the
Yep.
bands and how hard the bands are willing to push too.
Oh,
Because,
absolutely.
like it used to be that the opportunities were there, but the venues weren't.
Yep.
And then it's like, okay, well, the venues are there, but the opportunities aren't there anymore.
Yeah.
And now it's kind of at a place where like they're expanding the horizons on like what a venue is actually constituting.
Right.
Like the VFW halls is a huge addition.
I think it's a
Mhm.
it's
Right.
a
It's my
game
favorite
changer.
edition.
It's fun.
I like throwing our own shows. I really do.
fun.
Yeah.
Places
Not
like
first, but-
places like Uber Geek and City Studios. I forget. I always get the
City Sound.
Well,
City
there's Sand
Sound.
City.
And
The
then
Sand
Sand
City, the
yeah.
brewery,
I
and
didn't
the
get
City
those titles.
Sound, the stage.
Yeah.
That was a fun
But
show.
like all these breweries are opening up to this too, and like it's giving bands more places to go. That's not gonna like kind of fuck them in the ass with the prices.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You play for the door. You draw people, you get paid. If you don't draw, well,
It's like, okay.
But like that's always been the thing.
I
But
lost my
now
foul.
it's like
it's not like you're going into debt because you're trying to play the show. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
you're not paying out of pocket to
Yeah.
go perform for
Which I
30
think
minutes.
that makes people like want to try. Like, it's like that's why I thought with the level that people are at. It's like I feel like with us kind of doing our own thing, it's like we're more incentivized to do it because it's like I'm not comparing it to anybody. It's not like, oh, this promoter didn't do shit, the venue didn't do shit. Why am I going to do shit? You want $300 of my money? It's like as opposed to like we're doing this.
Circling
It's like-
back to like the Revolution, I used to love that place, but I hated it because whenever we used to play there, I felt this like, oh my god, we got $100, $200
We
pre-sale.
paid $200-300 to play.
Like, just
Yeah.
we're paying to play. I don't want to do that. I just want to have fun. Sorry.
No, I'm interrupting you.
He's looking at you. He's looking like, oh,
More Myself to Kill released Creation A,
yeah.
right? And we had our album release show at Rev. It was like
Sick show.
one of the last shows that I was at that I played at Rev before they closed down.
Sold it out,
We
right?
sold the place out, okay? And great night. Everybody had fun. Everybody got paid. Everything was great.
Yeah.
I think like 2 months later, we played with the Contortionist,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and we were promised by the promoter no pre-sale.
Okay.
played the show. At the end of the night, the owner of Red, I don't know if it was actually true, she approached us and said, "You're never going to play in this town again. You basically are going to pay me $500 right now, or I'm going to blacklist you from every venue on the island." And we're like, well, we have receipts, everything saying that this is a non-presale show. We were asked to play this show. We sold it out 2 months ago.
Yeah.
And we wound up paying $500.
Oh my god, that's so smart.
Yeah, right out of the ATM next to the bar.
What?
So 512.
Exclusive.
Yeah, exclusive. No, we can talk about it now because Rev doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
Damn.
I
That
remember.
is so scummy.
Yeah, that's pretty scummy, by the
I
way.
remember seeing like certain venues as like a tier. It's like you start at like your basic like no for real like smaller bars and shit where
Sick bands played at Zebra.
Oh yeah.
Memories, but that
Yeah.
was kind of a
I also have not fond memories.
it was kind of a dump. The stage was tiny. It was a rowdy play.
Workhorse.
Yeah.
What about him?
but like you start there, then you move up to like an AMH setting where it's like people know where that spot is,
Yeah.
and then you go from AMH, then you would go to Revo because there's a more room, bigger stage, like an actual stage,
Yeah.
and then it's like from like Revo you would build up to like I don't know. At this point, the only thing that's left is like the Paramount.
Yeah.
But like it's
Good luck with that.
like
Live Nation.
yeah
Yep. Gone.
assholes.
Rev was like a big deal to me, like growing up in.
Yeah,
like,
that's what I'm saying, like-
because of the marquee.
Mm-hmm.
There was no other venue on the island where you would walk in and in big white and black letters you would see like who's coming for the next year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The posters were huge. With it.
Love
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
It's
You see
so
like, the
nice.
pictures and shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would always rip them off the wall so I wanted to keep.
Oh yeah. Always keep the flyer.
Yeah.
Mhm.
100%.
Spend a lot of
Collect 'em,
time with
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Like I always wanted to play at Revo, but I never got a chance to because it closed before like
Yeah.
anything. But it was like I remember like if there was a show and it was at Revo, it's like it's gonna be a banger because
Yeah.
it's a like you can hold an audience in
A
there.
show.
Yeah,
Like
like
they actually have a stage.
yeah, and like a lot of big names have come through there. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Tons.
Yeah. But like I remember it always being like that tier system, and like now, like you're just saying, like the venues, there's a lot of opportunity, but there's no venues. It's like there's basically a plateau of like
there's no traditional venues.
right.
So like that's where the VFWs and breweries come in. Is that like they are becoming the new traditional venues.
Right. Yeah.
Places like AMH. I mean, I haven't played there. God, it's how long at this point.
Yeah.
But like the last time I played there was a pre-sale.
Mhm.
You know, I opened for Attila there the last time I was there. So hefty pre-sale.
Yeah.
But it was like, all right, the tickets are gonna sell themselves. I don't care. Whatever it is. We booked it, did well with the sale, and like whatever.
Like I saw Lorna Shore at AMH
Yeah.
before like
It was right before.
it was,
It was like at the beginning of
yeah,
it was like Into the Hellfire just came out.
Yeah.
And it was like
and
right there.
I think I saw Kubla Khan at AMH.
That's
why
I saw ABR there.
really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. That was a crazy show.
It's probably fit on the stage.
Almost didn't. I've never seen Rev packed out like that before. It was scary how many people were in the place. But like, you go to like Shakers, you play for door, fine.
Yeah.
You have the option to sell tickets, but whatever, like you still have that like the venue needs to make their money type shit.
Yeah.
It's just there's more opportunity for a fair deal for bands now. The bands aren't really being taken advantage of as much as they used to be. True.
Yeah.
A lot of it's now done through themselves. I mean, you can do
Yeah.
so much without a label or
There's not as many middlemen, quote unquote, to
Presale
say.
hasn't even been like a choice in like the past
Yeah.
5 years.
haven't heard anyone
Yeah.
ask us for
I've
this.
rarely heard pre-sale.
Look, if you're playing in Webster Hall in the city for a festival
you're gonna
show,
sell some.
you're gonna have to sell some
Mhm.
tickets. There's
Yeah.
no doubt in that.
It's like I'm talking to some people in Brooklyn that are asking. They're kind of asking how many people I can bring. It's like, okay, it's Brooklyn. Yeah, it's like your rent is like a month of my fucking salary. So
Depends where in Brooklyn though. If you're
Right.
playing like Lucky 13, don't do a fucking
no,
pre-sale.
no.
That place makes money hand over fist any night of the week.
Yep.
Do not do a pre-sale.
Absolutely.
But yeah, like other venues, like if it's a notable venue, shoot your shot, dude.
Yeah.
See if you can get on it, work for it, and then like the payoff is there.
Summer
But
Slaughter.
Your Summer Slaughter runs, yeah.
It was the hardest 35 tickets I've ever had to sell.
Yeah. For Mom TK,
Yeah.
they did one of the Summer Slaughter Battle of the Bands.
13?
It was something like that.
No, it was later.
No,
than
it was.
that.
It was later.
It was
than that.
like
It was 2016.
yeah, it's 2016. Yeah,
That was Oceano, Black Dahlia Murder.
full circle.
Yeah. Who else played that show with us?
I don't remember. I really don't remember that.
All I remember is I met Trevor that night,
Yeah.
and I gave him a copy of Challenger Deep.
Oh wow.
And he was like so thankful and just smoking cigarettes after he just ripped for an hour. And I'm like, how do you do that? Like, I had 30 minutes set and I'm dead. And he's just like the entire time.
It's got the lemons.
He was such a cool dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sucks. He's not here anymore.
Yeah.
That's really rough.
R.I.P. For
Yeah.
real.
No.
Yeah, seriously. He was a goat, dude.
Oh,
He was
yeah.
so
He
good.
was just a genuine dude.
Oh yeah.
Dude, the heartburn tat was just heat.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I've seen more people talk about like running their own shows now than I've ever seen before.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
RTT, they do
Yeah.
their Halloween show every year.
Yep.
When I had them on the show, they were already promoting it. Devin and Days were jumping on board with that too.
Yeah.
Like, it's fucking sick. You guys have an annual thing you do, and it does well.
Yeah.
MGR is another one.
Yeah.
Tom is putting his ass out there, like throwing a huge festival this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
I'm in the
Big fan of that. Big fan of that.
Exploded this year.
It was
We
exciting.
need that festival to do well.
Yeah.
That would be a staple for Long Island if he can pull that off.
That
And
would
I
be
think
cool.
that he's gonna do it. I think I've been pushing so
Yeah, I
fucking
think
hard with
there's-
that shit, man. But
There's a huge demand for it out here. I mean, Kyler filled that for a while with like Muno stock and
Yeah.
all that stuff. Like there is very clearly like a demand for that stuff out
Mhm.
here, and it's like there's people who want these things. So it's it's just so cool that like everybody's fucking trying.
Yeah.
You know?
I think that he's already got people hitting him up for next year, which is
Wow.
a good sign.
Yeah.
But it's just financially this has to do well.
Oh,
There-
absolutely.
There is no
Yeah.
pre-sale. He's got, I think, 6 bands coming from out of state.
Yeah.
And it's, I think, 18 bands total, including acoustic acts and shit.
Yeah.
There's so much that went into this thing. But, like, it's going to be massive.
And you're gonna be there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
When is this?
July 26th.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh,
Coming up.
Yeah. It's 3 weeks from Saturday, 4 weeks
Yeah.
from Saturday.
Yeah.
we'll come there after our photo shoot.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if you guys come, it's at Uber Geek in Riverhead.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
It starts
Be there.
at fucking noon. It's gonna be
Oh,
all
wow.
day.
The whole day thing.
All day.
Yeah.
And there's some cool shit happening with like bands and set times and stuff that I'll tell you guys like later. But yeah, it's gonna be the same thing. Like food trucks gonna be there. There's gonna be
It's
a
great.
ton of vendors and shit, but like that's gonna be something that if it works, that's gonna be happening again next year.
Yeah.
And then hopefully that does well and it happens again next year. Like
Yeah.
Bigger every time.
Yep. Absolutely.
It'll become a staple.
Every year a little
South
bigger.
Bay.
Great South Bay, yeah.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Yeah.
Every year just a little
Many,
bigger, a
many
little bigger.
bands on that bill, and now it's like Taking Back Sunday is playing.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? I drive past the board every day at my house.
It's like, wait, I know those band names. What the hell?
TBS has played there a bunch of times now. They
Yeah.
made like the Thursday night, the first night of it is always the pop punk like,
Mhm.
throwback night.
Yeah.
Fucking gym class here wasn't playing that shit this
Yep.
year.
Oh,
Branch.
I was like, that's sick.
Abby McCoy.
The boy's back.
Yeah.
He ain't taking a look at my girlfriend.
He's
Singer.
the only one I got.
I saw Blue Oyster Cult at Great South Bay once.
That's
Oh,
It
That's
was
so
awesome.
cool.
So good. So Robert Randolph there too. I don't know if you guys know who he is. Phenomenal slide guitar player.
Oh wow.
He's I knew him because like my dad's big on Eric Clapton and shit. Like he's,
Sure.
you know, guitar player too. He was on like one of the Eric Clapton Crossroads DVDs.
Oh,
and
wow.
I was just watching him play. I was like, how the fuck does he do that with just a slide guitar? He's got like a whole pedal board rig and shit, but he just shreds on this thing. And his band is so fucking tight. They're so good. They tried to like break into like mainstream rock. Didn't work.
Yeah.
No one was
Lapsing.
That's a shame.
yeah.
SpongeBob went off.
But yeah, that's Great South Bay is some cool shit too.
Yeah.
But, like we need an indie festival.
Yeah.
for
Facts.
here.
Yeah.
It'd be a lot of
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah, and I mean this one's 2 stages too. Like it's
Ooh,
wild. The
that's
whole thing is set up
awesome.
like Warped Tour. Like I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great.
But Yeah, dude, I'm psyched. And like, you guys are playing a month after that, so I'm gonna try my best to be there
Yeah.
too.
Oh,
That's
that's
like
awesome.
We're not going anywhere yet.
Yeah, not yet.
that's
Trying.
That's
Not
my
yet.
sister's birthday weekend, so I don't know if I can swing
That's
it depending
fine.
on what she's doing. But yeah, I will definitely try to
Choose
get.
your sister over us.
Come on.
God damn.
Your
Thought you were a girl.
19th podcast guest.
18.
I'm a fan.
Big fan.
Exposed.
Cancel.
Instagram.
It's over. It's over. It's fucking done.
Didn't even start.
We're never gonna play in this town again.
Oh, never. I get you blacklisted from Club Loaded.
Oh no.
No.
Flashbacks.
My lady, aren't you? It all comes full circle, man. You were bad juju.
Big mouth.
Surprisingly, and like I have no shame about talking shit about Club Loaded, but like surprisingly, they're still around. I don't know
Yeah.
how the hell that happened, but they're still doing shit. And that's
Forget everything we said. We'd love to work with you.
it's a different system than it used to be, from what I hear.
Yeah.
I didn't even think it was Club Loaded. It was literally some lady at Revolution.
Really?
It was.
Oh.
You get $500 to some lady from the bar.
Yeah, I don't know. So
Shout out Emily Hopkins.
yeah.
And the
It
old.
makes no sense now.
Yeah.
It's fine.
That's the second Emily Hopkins drop on this show in
Nice.
like 3 weeks.
Nice.
She's so cool.
Yeah,
She's
great.
cool, and I hope she always does well.
She's great. Ross is
Yeah.
great. They're great people.
Yeah, I got to meet her once. She did my friend's wedding. Playing
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
We tried to get her on the album.
We tried.
We tried.
The scheduling didn't work out, but yeah.
Maybe she's still a Long Island.
Yeah.
She's here, so
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I'm so happy for her.
Yeah.
She did her thing and took off with it.
Absolutely.
When she did the wedding, that was the last wedding she did, and then she dedicated everything 100% to YouTube,
Yeah.
social media and shit. And that was her turning point. She's like, yeah,
Yeah.
fucking do 100% this, and man, she's just
That's
she's
fantastic.
all the way
It's
up there.
great. Yeah. Again, talk about like doing something for years and years and
Yeah,
years
dude.
and waiting for it to pay off. Because it was like, it was just like covers and then started to do the content. And then it's like, all you do is just one video gets 1 million and now it's your job.
That's all it
Like,
is.
you know, and that's the curse and the blessing of the internet, it
Yeah.
seems, you know?
Giveth and it taketh.
Yeah.
But at least she's funny with shit too. Though.
Oh, yeah.
absolutely, yeah.
Got a great sense of
Oh,
humor.
yeah.
I love fish.
Yeah.
Clips are everywhere. Like,
Yeah.
Not even. You know,
She's
I didn't know who
unavoidable.
she was
Killing shorts.
until I
Yeah.
joined this band.
She's
I was like, oh, that's
killing
Florida
shorts. Oh my god. They're like short gods. It's crazy.
Yeah. The Pokemon shit she does is great.
The
Like all the
Pokemon.
pedal shit she does.
Yeah.
is great.
hmm
Most recently, the Goop thing is fucking.
The goop was great.
The
The
Goop
goop was
was
so
so
funny. Oh man.
Big shout out Emily Hopkins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Come
just
play a show with us, please.
It'd be
Good
so
way
cool.
to put you
It'd be
in.
so
I'll
cool.
figure it
I'll
out.
figure it out.
Yeah.
If there was ever anyone that would fit with you guys, I think it would be her. I think there's always a place for a harp in your music.
Yeah.
We've got some play.
Yeah.
We'll write a song if we have to. We'll
Yeah,
figure-
there is a harp section on the album.
And Russ is
100%.
great. Russ has always been like super supportive. Like
Russ is rad. He's
Russ
a
is
nerd.
Russ
I love
is
it.
so cool. But like the one little warm spot I have is like I was technically Olax's like #1 fan, and I'm in like their thank you section on one of their albums, and I was like, yeah. It was like right at the beginning of college, and I was like, oh my god, this guy freaking
That album was awesome.
yeah.
Yeah.
Lifetime is great. Oh man. And me and him still talk like once every week or so. Just
That's cool.
talk about YouTube, talk about bullshit, and it's great.
I have that in my car still.
Yeah. That's awesome.
That's so sick.
Yeah.
If you could like put it together, get Emily on this fucking show, dude.
We'll see.
I'm trying to connect dots wherever I can.
Yeah, I get you.
I don't ever want to work a job again in my life.
Word.
Many of us do.
No. But we went over a little longer than I anticipated. That's
okay.
not a problem with me.
No.
I loved having you guys here. I know that you guys gotta.
That was good talks.
Lot of
Split
fun, lot of
great
fun.
time.
But thank you so much for coming on. I
Thank
appreciate
you.
it.
Yeah.
I've been looking forward to having you guys on for such a long time.
Yeah.
I know we've been talking about it for a minute now. Yeah, dude, this was great. Anytime you guys want to come back on, let me know.
Absolutely.
Sounds good.
Yeah, and here's
I wanted to do something like this for forever.
Yeah.
Fun, just talking, having fun.
Yeah, man, it's a good time. Especially when the conversation really gets rolling, dude. It's my favorite thing, getting to know like the local guys around here.
Yeah. And your support's been fucking awesome with all this. It's just like so like invigorating to be like, oh my god, somebody with ears is listening to our music. What do you mean? And they like it enough to talk about it. Like that's great. Like it's
surreal almost.
Yeah, it's super energizing.
Yeah, it's a really cool thing you're doing here.
Yeah.
As a friend and a fan, thank you guys for doing this because I will always push you guys as much as I can.
Thank you.
Yeah.
The original plan for getting your music on the show last week fell apart a little bit. But I will redeem that.
Okay.
The song was still on there, by the way. I still used Without You last week.
Oh, cool.
But just
Did see that.
Yeah. The whole purpose shifted, and I'll tell you guys once we got. But
Okay.
yeah, I would love to have you guys on again whenever you're willing to come.
Great,
on.
yeah.
So if you got things in the works, let me know, and I'll get you back on.
Great,
man,
great.
it's been so much fun. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Of course, man.
Yeah.
Check out Monty K. Check out Tethered. These guys are great. Thank you guys so much for checking this out.
Super low key. Also, check out Monolith Zero.
Big shout out Monolith.
So little band.
Those are my boys.
And Pio.
And check out
Pio.
Pio.
Paima's doing big things.
Pio's gonna be doing really cool things. Very recently, their bassist.
Yeah, he joined.
You heard it here first.
You first, you did.
Yeah.
Mom TV.
We have
Pull it right now.
Just pull it.
Hold on, wait. It's the date of the show.
You don't have any. You're not gonna have any.
10 seconds. 10 seconds. Come on. No pressure. Come on.
8th.
August 8th.
August 8th.
Hello.
I forget where it is. It's in Brooklyn.
Gold Sound.
Gold Sound.
Gold Sound. Thank you.
15 to 20 people all working together.
Keeps the train going.
Yeah.
You know?
So then, if you guys wouldn't mind, since all of you have so much shit going on, when this comes out,
Yeah.
I'm gonna take you guys in the post, obviously.
Yeah.
Drop all that shit in the fucking comments.
Sure.
Pin everything. Make
Okay,
sure
cool.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, thank you guys so much for coming on. I
Thank you.
appreciate it. I loved having you guys.
Yeah.
And
A lot of fun.
I'll see you guys at a show very soon.
Yeah.
Yeah. See you shortly.
Big thank you to Jimmy, Jake, Greg, Zach, and Steve for coming on the show tonight. You guys are going to do huge things. You already have one of the best albums that I've heard in the last 5 years. Don't let the momentum fall off, my friends. Anytime you want to come back on, all you need to do is just ask. It was truly a pleasure having you on. Thank you for your time and your support. Everybody who listens, all the interactions on social media, who tells their friends to listen, I love you all and I appreciate you more than words can say. Again, the easiest and the cheapest way to support somebody who is starting out a small business, whether that be a podcast or someone you know that like is baking sourdough or some shit, whatever the case may be, the cheapest and the easiest way is to just help get the word out. I do this for everybody. No matter what, whoever starts something up, if you ask me to share something, if I see it myself and I see that you just need, a boost up because it's brand new, I'm going to help you out. I'm going to share it. I don't really ask for anything in return, but if there's one thing you can give me aside from just taking a little time every week to listen to the show, please, if I post something, share it. If you see something to vote on, please just vote on it. It helps me out a lot. It is no effect to your day whatsoever. But that, that little bit does go a very, very long way. So share the page, like a post, tell a friend about something I've said or a band that you heard on the podcast. Go get tickets to a show or stream the music that you hear. Anyone watching on YouTube, please just smash the like button. It goes a long way. Thank you for tuning in. I hope to see you again on the next one. I have a huge guest next week, so please stay tuned. You've been listening to the Face the Music podcast, everybody. Be well, be safe, and I will see you again soon.